'cause the needle can't burn what the needle can't find. The money can't save what the money can buy. Part of me is saved and part of me is mine. So be mine tonight.
Wow. Oh, that is Rockstar in the Lounge today. You had a song that I thought you wrote that sort of was like that, right? Was it something about... You have no song that's close to that.
That's something like that.
I mean, he... excuse me.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you what I think he's thinking about. I do this with Dunaway so well.
Yeah. There's one
it's a little
song
bit scary.
It burned something into something.
Oh, I did. There was Crooked and Clean had the word burn in it.
That's what it was. Crooked and
It's
Clean.
got the word burn in it?
Well, that's one thing.
Because it's drug use, right? Crooked and
Life
Clean?
on Fire?
Maybe.
That's one of my originals I wrote maybe in 2006. I don't even know if I remember that thing.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it seemed like that's the one I always confused that one with. While you get ready to sing us out here, a couple of notes. Bryce Young has agreed to a 4-year, $37.96 million rookie contract with the Carolina Panthers. It's fully guaranteed, as the first pick usually is, or a top pick usually is. And Alabama picked up a 4-star offensive lineman, William Sanders from Brookwood, Alabama. Picks Alabama over LSU. He's a 4-star offensive lineman. Those couple of notes there. All the SEC media stuff brought to you by our friends at mybookie.ag all week long. We appreciate them and all of you so much. Rockstar is going to take us out of here at a 4:57 here. So sing us out, Rocky.
This is going to be a quick cumbersome. Life and I wear the David mask. I guess the stones are coming too fast to her now. You know I like to believe his nervousness will pass. All the stones that are thrown are building up a wall. I have become cumbersome.
Sing it.
There is a balance between two words, one with an arrow and a cross. The darkness of balance, life has become cumbersome. Too heavy, too light, too black, too white, too wrong or too right. Stay tonight. Cumbersome.
Oh,
wow. Timed it out.
God bless you and God bless America. Hit it, man.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the Next Round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1 or call waynes.com.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. Nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
And good morning to everybody over in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. We're a morning show again, mid-morning, brunch-esque, if you will. As we get going, the band back together minus Rockstar today, who's got a week-long vacation. So employee number 11, Tyler, is handling everything. The startled look. We made the announcement on Friday without you that Tyler's officially a paid employee, man.
Yeah, I heard the news a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations, Tyler. Kid grinded for hell a year.
How long were you an intern, actually, Tyler? Do you know?
I started last May.
So basically a little over a year. That's a long internship. Would you say it paid off?
I'd say so.
Okay, good. I'm glad you agree.
You know, I'm glad that there are still certain people out there that will work for free to get to where they want to go.
Yeah.
Because that's a dying art.
Yeah, Tyler's a hard worker, though, man. He put it in, and everybody up here appreciated him and respected him. So it was genuine excitement. I know people think we just goof off, and we do, but it was genuine excitement around here when we were able to tell people that Tyler was a new employee.
That's exactly right, because when Rockstar went on tour with Black Jacket Symphony is when he locked up the job, because he filled in for Rockstar and did a wonderful job. So Forrester and Lunsford on the back row back there, they'll have a new back room podcast out later on this week, and I assume Tyler will be sitting in for Rockstar on that, or maybe Taylor. I know they won't drag one of us in there because all they do is talk bad about us on that thing.
How can you cut us up if we're in there?
Yeah, Backroom Podcast. Lance and Ryan, I'm Jim. Welcome into the show today. We got a lot to get to. More talking season this week. The ACC cranks up their media days early in the week. The Big Ten wraps it all up later in this week. UAB's out at the American today, the American. In Arlington, I guess they're at the Star as well. It seems like a lot of conferences go to the Star to hold their media days. So that's where UAB is. So we'll get to all that as we move throughout the show. But one of our, we love college football, but we also love the NFL. And camps have opened up.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. I had a Dolphins dream over the weekend.
You did? A Dolphins dream?
Yeah.
Well, jump in. Tell us about that Dolphins dream, man.
Well, it's an unfortunate dream, Jim. When I say unfortunate, what do you guys assume happened?
Tua goes down.
No, Tua was carving them up, man. Tua was laying it down. But my dream was the Dolphins were 5-3 through 8 games, which, I think would be a little bit of a disappointment for the Dolphins. And just in my dream, I don't know, like sometimes you have a dream, you're just aware of things, right? And my awareness in my dream was everybody was talking about, man, Tua is playing at an MVP level with this offense. How can this defense not get more stops than they're getting? With Vic Fangio coordinating the defense, adding Jalen Ramsey, the defense was a huge disappointment.
5-3, you'll be lucky to be 5-3.
5-3 is very much in the playoff.
I'd be very disappointed. Yep.
Have you looked at the schedule?
Yeah, of course, have I looked at the schedule?
Okay, so at the Chargers, you'll be underdogs.
Okay.
At the Patriots, close to a pick.
Yep.
You'll be favored against the Broncos. You'll be a dog against the Bills on the road.
Uh-huh.
You'll be favored against the Giants, favored against the Panthers, dog at the Eagles. You're going to lose 3 of those first 8.
Maybe not. Maybe you win them all.
Yeah, so that
Maybe
makes you 5-3. So
yeah, that was very disappointing though. By the way, the defense played, Jim.
Yeah, a couple of notes out of these camps already. They're pretty significant. One of them is Josh Jacobs. It looks like he will not participate at all in any preseason activities, as he and the Raiders could not get a long-term deal. Meanwhile, all Josh and the rest of the elite, I guess if you're sitting at home, you didn't get a Zoom link, you're not an elite running back, but all the top running backs in the league had a Zoom call over the weekend together.
If you're not on that one, do you check spam and did I accidentally delete this?
I hit my text. I'm like, Hey, guys, nobody sent me the Zoom link.
That's right. I know I just missed it, man, but I need that link, man.
I think it was only 5 or 6 on there, but big names. And, this spawns from Saquon Barkley has not gotten his deal. And Josh Jacobs, who led the NFL in rushing last year, has not gotten his deal. It's really a difficult spot because these guys do take a beating. I get it. Most of their careers are on the downside at 30. But the fact of the matter is, it seems like you can plug and play in the NFL. And it's just one of these positions, they got franchised. Tony Pollard signed his for $10 million, a little over $10 million. Saquon and Josh Jacobs said, no, we're not going to do it. We want a multi-year deal. Like Nick Chubb is the last to get one, and I just don't see a lot of these being handed out anymore.
This feels like a little bit of a poker call in the running back game, doesn't it?
How do you change the market standard all of a sudden, right? How do you change that?
Oh, it takes. How does who change it? The NFL or the running backs?
How does the running back change it? I mean, what can the running backs do other than not play? And then if you cannot play another position, what is your alternative?
That's right. Because there are enough NFL franchises that think you guys aren't worth that. I mean, running backs are not worth however much that Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley want, that I can go get 3 guys for that price and they'll be just as good as your one guy.
And that's my point. What good is it going to do for Josh Jacobs to sort of hold out? I guess down the road could there be the NFLPA negotiate a minimum that you have to pay for a position? They won't do that. They've got a minimum. You got to pay an NFL player.
That's right.
As a rookie, as a veteran. They got all that in place. But there's no market standard that for elite running backs, you got to pay this. So the market has dropped for a position. I mean, Josh Jacobs and Saquon can't change positions now. Now, if you're in college or in high school, you got a choice right now saying, hey, coach, let me try to be an edge rusher.
I would be doing that.
Tackle.
Yeah.
It's almost like running backs are going to be incentivized now. Like, here's your deal. It's a year-to-year deal. This sucks. None of them want that. But we'll give you the $10 million franchise tag, and if you hit these high water marks, then we'll bonus you off of that. Again, nobody's going to want that, but guys like, Todd Gurley, who signed long-term deals and then just basically tapped out after the fact, that doesn't help here.
But do you think if every elite running back in the NFL joined it, like if Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook and Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley and fill in the blank, every elite NFL running back said, guys, listen, we're all in this together. All of us are being underpaid. Let's all hold out at the same time.
Sadly, Brown, in modern NFL, we could play the game without him.
Yep. So that's why it's that's why it's useless. That's why there's nothing really they can do about it. Now, they couldn't all hold out at the same time because their deals aren't all at the same time. But if they were, even if they were, and every one of those guys said, all right, we're going to hold out. We'll show it. We're going to stick it to the man. We're going to hold out. I'm with you. I think the NFL would say, hey, business is going to go right along. I got this kid out of Portsmouth State. He's good enough running back for me.
Yeah. Or just not have the position.
I'll put 5 receivers out there.
Patrick Mahomes and 5 receivers.
Yeah. You think about Isaiah Pincheiro, guys that just come out of nowhere. And I think you can get that almost every roster. If you're drafting a couple of running backs, you can find a guy that can actually at least tote it for you. You might not get a Saquon Barkley. You might not get a Christian McCaffrey, but you can get enough production, especially if you've got an elite quarterback.
Give me the last elite running back whose team won the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm talking like you would say this guy's elite running back, and he was a heavy contributor.
I mean, Leonard Fournette was huge for Tampa Bay in 2020. I got the shirt on today, but he was huge for them winning the Super Bowl.
Who's the last Super Bowl winning team that you said, okay, that was an elite running back, and it was a massive part of their offense?
And you have to agree, we were a running team when we won it. I mean,
Tom Brady was your quarterback.
He was the quarterback, but we ran the ball, and that was the only way we won.
Fournette was big for you, but Fournette wasn't the reason you won a Super Bowl.
That's right, yeah.
I can't.
Who is it?
The defense is what we won. The Super Bowl.
I can't remember the last time you had a running back carry a team like that.
Walter Payton?
I mean, really, it was.
Then,
in the regular season in 2018 for the Rams, it was Todd Gurley. But once they got there, C.J. Anderson took over that Dallas game.
Yeah, I mean, it was just you lost one guy, you put another guy in, and you were just fine in the postseason. See, that's.
Yeah, Michael's right. I mean, Marshawn Lynch was really good, but it still was Russell Wilson's team. Now, if they would have run Marshawn Lynch, they would have won a Super Bowl.
No, I'll give you Marshawn Lynch. I'll actually give you that one.
But how far ago was that?
A decade, 2014.
Yeah. So there you go. So for a decade now, NFL teams have been saying, do we need elite running back to win the Super Bowl? And the NFL says, no, you really don't. All you might need a Leonard Fournette. You might need a C.J. Anderson. You might need a Pinchero. You might need one of those guys. But what you really need is an elite quarterback. That's what you really need. And then you're going to need an elite interior defensive lineman, an elite pass rusher, and you get way down the list before you get to elite running back, and that's the problem for these guys.
So camp is opening up. I mean, Chris Jones, who plays a paying position, is holding out. But the biggest thing was that Jimmy Garoppolo passed an obstacle that he was worried about over the weekend. We'll get into that right after you tell us, LT, about our friends at Harbin's. Harbin's Outdoors. It's a chance to, I've spent some time recently at your pool. If you're at home watching us right now, you want a pool or maybe some landscaping done, or all in one stop, our friends at Harbin's can do that.
Yeah, Jeremy and his team do just incredible work. Again, you can see it for yourself. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors. See it for yourself today. Harbin's Outdoors, award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, hardscaping. Jeremy and his team, one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the lighting, the final hardscapes around the pool, everything in between. It's beautiful work. Again, you can see it for yourself on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors. You can call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. Tell Jeremy and his team the next round sent you.
Best and worst of the weekend coming up a little bit later on in the next segment. And at the start of hour 2, Phil Steele will be with us. The publisher of that annual college football, what does he call it? The Bible of college football?
Yearbook maybe? I don't know.
I think it is
Annual?
the Bible of college football. I mean, for the last decade plus, it's just so packed with information. I think we all agree the font is so small.
Yeah.
Though.
I haven't had the printed copy in quite a while. I just go with the online copy, but it was getting smaller and smaller because I don't think Phil deletes information.
No.
I think Phil only adds information.
Keeps stacking up, and I've aged out of being able to read that, but not aged out of talking to him. We'll talk to him coming up at 10 Central. But Jimmy Garoppolo, now with the Raiders, there was concern that if he didn't pass his physical, they were just going to cut him loose, and they were going to move on, and Jimmy G would be out. But he passed his physical over the weekend. You think he starts more games than he doesn't?
I would
Vegas?
think he does. It's another one of these guys that really just can't stay healthy. When Garoppolo's on the field, now, look, this is the litmus test for Jimmy Garoppolo because he's had the fortune of being able to play with an elite defense in San Francisco. And he was one of these guys. I mean, we saw it with Brock Purdy. If you thought Garoppolo was a really good quarterback and they were winning because of Garoppolo,
Brock Purdy kind of changed that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they weren't won in spite of Garoppolo because Garoppolo's numbers aren't bad. I mean, for his career, 87 touchdowns, 42 picks, better than 2-to-1 ratio there. He's completed 68% of his passes.
But to your point, Mr. Irrelevant came off the bench, and they never really missed a beat.
No. So, the question now becomes who's a better quarterback, Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo? I lean Carr.
I do too.
Yeah.
The problem with the Raiders, they don't have him anymore.
That's right.
That's what I was gonna say.
They need it to be Garoppolo.
So you're downgrading at quarterback in one of the most difficult divisions out there because I would assume Denver's going to be improved with Sean Payton coming in.
I don't buy into all the Sean Payton's just going to fix everything.
I don't buy into that.
I think they'll be better.
But they'll be better.
Yeah.
But, the Chargers aren't going anywhere, and obviously the Chiefs aren't going anywhere.
Right.
So every team should be open by the time we get to Tuesday, to tomorrow. So by midweek, everybody will be in camp for the National Football League. And I think it's August 3rd for the Hall of Fame kickoff game, Jets and Browns.
Yeah, 10 days away.
As we get going.
10 days,
Yep.
huh? Boy, did you just hear that? 10 days away from us watching football.
That's exciting.
It really is.
We can't wait till Lance gets hot, hopefully, this season picking games. And the Brown Bandit is back picking college games. And I'm landmining people, and you guys can fade Dunaway all year long with great picks of football. Just 10 days away from that Hall of Fame Classic game. We'll get into some great comparisons in college football and all that coming up in just a second. But one more note on the NFL here. And this came out while we were in Nashville at SEC Media Days. And you always wonder just about the popularity of, it just seems like college football is more popular than the NFL here. And I believe it is in say, the state of Alabama and around the region.
A lot of the Southeast, yeah.
Around the region, the SEC, it is very, very close, if not college football over the NFL. But around the country, do you remember what the SEC handed out per school
This year?
This year.
Oh, gosh,
Was
I
it
do not. I can
53
find
million,
it.
63 million.
It was a lot of money.
It wasn't 100 million though, right?
No.
Per school. The NFL last week distributed, and we know this from the Green Bay Packers because the Packers, are owned by everybody. The Packers made a note to their stockholders that the NFL distribution money check came in $374.4 million.
$374 million per team?
Per team, yeah. The NFL handed out in distribution money to their franchises $11.9 billion.
Okay, well, not only is this the new television contract with YouTube, this is deals with DraftKings.
Well, this will be all from last year. So the new YouTube's coming up.
So I wonder, the reason I brought up YouTube was I had a buddy over the weekend. He said, have you figured out your TV situation for the fall? And I really haven't.
The world is holding its breath.
Yeah,
You've
well,
got this.
I don't know what to do. And I know if you subscribed, if you did the Sunday pass or
Sunday ticket, yeah.
Sunday ticket by like 2 months ago, you
It
got
was
$100
June.
off.
I did it, so it was like June 5th or something like that. I beat the deadline.
Yeah, I did not beat the deadline. Did you?
I did not. No, I probably will only do Red Zone this year because
Okay.
my team's going to suck. And I'll do Red Zone so I can enjoy everybody's touchdowns, not just the lack of mine.
Yeah, my team's going to suck, but I'm almost to the point where I'm just going to do probably have YouTube on the one channel or the one TV.
Right?
Yeah, and then I guess I'll be, have to go with Fox and CBS on the other TVs.
I don't think it's that complicated. We've talked about this. Why can't you not do it on the other TVs?
Because I would either have to install Apple on all of them or get smart TVs on all of them.
Yeah.
But then somebody's got to take the TV down, put the TV up. Can you mount TVs yourself?
It's already mounted. All you got to do is you've got the mounts up there. All you got to do is take the mount off the back of one, put it on the other, and you're set. And then hook up all the cables.
Seems like a pain in the ass.
They've got people who do that for a
I know.
price.
I know, but I really don't think you have to pay that. It's just pop out a couple screws, pop in a couple screws.
But then again, I got to buy all new TVs.
I mean, that is part of it, yeah.
What night did Maggie and I swing by and have a margarita? Was that Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday. Your expenses. I joked with him. I said he was just listing this and this, and I was like, your expenses are expensive.
It's expensive to be an adult.
Yeah.
The other thing, everybody, about 7,000 people in the chat room are going to tell you to get Rokus. Now, again, you're going to have somebody install those. But
Yeah, Bob said TV hanging party at LT's. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Everybody bring the housewarming. Everybody bring a 32 or
bring your own TV.
Everybody bring your own swinging fire stick, and we'll have a party over at LT's.
I think the Roku. I mean, TVs have gotten pretty cheap.
No, they have.
What size are those?
Those are 32s, which I'd like to get them a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Now. Probably 40s.
I mean, you're
Come on, go 50s, 55s.
Yeah, Kevin's right. This is why I still print my notes.
That's right. You're probably, looking what?
300 a TV?
I don't even think it would be that much. The prices have come way down on TVs.
32s?
No, I want to do 40s now.
Yeah, but I think give you 40s.
I think it'll be for the best 40s out there. I think it'll be 350.
That's if you go high end.
Yeah.
So is the way to do it Roku?
I mean, that's what everybody says. I don't have to. I've never dealt with that. Like the Roku stick is what everybody is saying. Like what used to be called a Fire Stick, the Amazon Fire Stick or whatever.
Honest to goodness, Lunsford, I think we should just set up a whole YouTube channel for LT's technology questions.
I mean, it would be pretty fascinating.
Yeah, just once a week, we let LT go live on his YouTube technology channel, and put it under the umbrella of us, but let LT have a technology channel.
So Lunsford says $175 for a good 40. Here would be another question. If I Roku it, if I just drop DirecTV, which we would have to get some content, me calling DirecTV and finally dropping that bomb on them.
Yeah.
But if I was to do that with Roku, can you get the local channels?
Well, I mean, you're using YouTube TV. Roku is not the TV. YouTube TV is what you would subscribe to. In this case, for getting
no. But when I lived,
direct,
I lived in the hotel for a year. I used Roku. That's all I had was Roku.
Okay. Did you get your locals then?
I don't remember really watching
because you don't watch local TV.
I don't.
He does
but
if
for the
certain games are on.
Yeah.
I see a commercial on Fox 6, local Jonathan Hardison. They do Roku because I see their Roku commercial.
Is not like your TV provider. Now, Fox 6 has an app on that.
That's
what
right.
you would do is you would get YouTube as your actual TV, and then Roku is just the means by which you watch the TV.
Yeah. You'll be fine. Just go buy some smart TVs, and you'll be good.
I think that's your
You've got
solution.
the money. God has blessed you.
That's right.
We live in America.
That's right.
Go get your
In
TVs.
Jim's America.
Now,
you go
Taylor
buy
says
TVs.
if you just plug it in the side of your TV, it's a smart TV.
Yeah,
Well, it is. Yeah,
that's
the whole point.
That's
Yeah.
Roku,
So why
Fire
go
Stick,
get
any of those.
why go get new TVs?
Well, you got to do one or the other.
Because you want bigger TVs. Part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Woodhouse Day Spa can get you relaxed, ready for this football season coming up. If you're just overwhelmed with technology, how about a good massage today?
Yeah, that's what you need.
That's right. Settle down.
Think about it. Again, we're 10 days away from live football, and you can go ahead and get ahead and give the wife or girlfriend the gift of luxury to set up these long football Saturdays and Sundays. You're going to be hanging out with your guy friends. Again, the gift of luxury, Birmingham's best day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, located at Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. Choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can order that special person gift online 24/7 at birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Again, stop by, see the great staff there, Stuart, Casey. Make sure you tell them at the Woodhouse Day Spa the Next Round sent you.
Listen, we love seeing all the pictures over the weekend of you guys when you're at the lakes and on the golf course. There's some young ladies down in the Gulf. No shark in that picture, but a lot of Next Round gear there. Appreciate those rolling in. That's John Willard and Lauren Sisler. Lauren Willard, who you see on the SEC Network. Their first baby's Mason, being around that Next Round T-shirt. And that right there is Clint Starling and his wife Kayla on their honeymoon.
Oh, yeah.
Forget what country they were in. More anniversary trips there in Next Round gear. But shout out to Clint and Kayla on their honeymoon, taking the Next Round on the trip there. Always love seeing these gear pictures over the weekend. And you can go to nextround.store and grab yours and pick up our coffee and all the great stuff there. Just love seeing those pictures when they roll in, especially when we get to football season. We start seeing them at stadiums and such like that.
Universal Seafoam Green there.
I know. I
with
noticed
the McGee's.
that.
I saw Terry and Maggie there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's always a good look on the weekends. When we come back, we'll do best and worst of the weekend. The show being brought to you by our friends at Wayne's, celebrating 50 years with our friends at Wayne's. Now's a great time to sign up with Wayne's Lawn Care Service. Finish out the summer, get set for the winter, and all the nutrients you need to be put in there. Wayne's takes care of all that for you. They've got the mosquito protection for the rest of the summer into the fall as well. Save $50 on each of those services and stack their services and savings to save $50, $100, $150 and more if you use our promo code TNR. TNR. When you go to callwaynes.com, callwaynes.com, or when you actually call them up at 866-WAYNES1. This is for new or existing customers as we celebrate 50 years with Wayne's, the best pest control, termite protection, lawn care, and mosquito service. Promo code TNR. Call Waynes.com, or 866-WAYNES1.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Hey, coffee lovers, the Next Round blend is available right now. Our specialty coffee roasted on demand with 100% Arabica beans, available in light, medium, and dark roast. Order today at nextround.store, nextround.store.
For more than 40 years, Red Wing Shoes has been helping the hardworking people of Alabama. This is why Red Wing Shoes has created the 3-step comfort solution. Step 1, a certified fit specialist will use a 3D scan to electronically measure your feet and arches. Step 2, the fit specialist helps you get the appropriate footwear for your occupation. Step 3, customize your boot or shoe with a Red Wing orthotic. Whether you have a high arch or flat feet, Red Wing has comfort solutions for you. So experience comfort at its best. Visit one of the Red Wing shoe stores located in Pelham or Trussville.
For 50 years, our friends at Wayne's have been doing things around your house that you don't have time to do. Warm weather is coming. You want that lawn looking great. You want mosquitoes not around. Our friends at Wayne's, they can help you out. Right now, they will do $50 off for each of those services to continue to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Again, our friends at Wayne's, they take care of all of us here on the next round. You don't want those mosquitoes. You want the lawn looking great. Call them today, 866-WAYNES1 or call Waynes.com.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Back with you on the next round. Really interesting. Alabama, they're doing perfectly fine in recruiting in 2024, but they're killing it for the 2025 class. Now, the problem, Brownie, is always what? When you're getting commitments for the 2025 class.
Got to hold them for a long time. Everybody does it.
Jamie French, with 2 F's, for French.
That's such a weird spelling.
Yeah, so capital, it's F-F-R-E-N-C-H?
Yep. Yeah, capital F, lowercase f, R-E-N-C-H.
Huh.
Jamie French picks Alabama over Florida State, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Penn State. He is a Florida guy, one of the best receivers in the country. He joins another 5-star wide receiver, Ryan Williams, on the 2025 commitment list. So 2 5-star guys with the number 1 overall player and running back, 5-star running back Anthony Rogers on the Alabama commitment list for 2025. 5-star corner Charles Lester is going to make his announcement coming up Friday at 7:30 between Alabama, Florida State, and Colorado. But that's 2025. Got to hold on to all those guys.
You do. You know, it's funny, though, like I laugh when I see these guys that cover the NFL all the time try to talk college football. They get out of their league so quick trying to talk college football, much in the same way college guys might try to talk NFL. But you guys know Mike Florio, right?
Yep.
The Pro Football Talk guy. He retweeted, this was a couple of weeks ago, but he retweeted an article about NIL and how Saban, it was some quote Saban had said about, when he was in Washington, right, about NIL and how it needs guardrails and all that. And Mike Florio basically tweeted, Nick Saban hates college football now because everybody's on his level and he can't compete anymore. And everybody was like, dude, he just signed the best signing class he's ever signed.
Yeah. I mean, again,
and he keeps going with it.
It's going to be the same. Now, we did have the conversation, I think it was Neil McCready, where if we have the Saudis come in and back some teams.
That's a different game at that point.
Yeah, then we've got a different game.
Yeah, I brought it up to Neil, but something that's been discussed since the Live discussion when they bought into golf, and they are buying into everything, including world soccer. Part of the show being brought to you by Greg from Pell City Storm Restoration Roofing. Some severe wind and rain over the weekend. And boy, if you had a loose shingle or anything on your roof, maybe you saw a waterfall in your house at some point. After these winds blow through, and anytime you're worried about that roof, Greg from Pell City Storm Restoration Roofing will give you a free no-cost roof inspection. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, locally owned for over 20 years. He and his wife own the company. They run the company on the day-to-day basis. In fact, Greg oftentimes is the guy that comes out and gets on your roof for that free no-cost roof inspection. Insurance companies trust them. You should too. Call this number for that free no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531. 542-3531. It only takes one loose shingle or two, or bent one or something, to cause water damage on your roof. Get that roof inspected for free with no obligation. 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Bring up Lunsford's microphone, back row. Lunsford here. Barbie, Oppenheimer, throw in a couple other big movies, and I was reading this was the 4th best weekend in Hollywood history.
It's probably close. I mean, we named off all the other movies that launched at the same time, but I mean, none were even remotely close to as big as these two combined.
So did you see both?
I did.
Your thoughts? Barbie and Oppenheimer are the two movies most people are talking
I'm trying
about.
to phrase this the right way.
Oh, boy.
Oppenheimer is too long. It was good. It was well acted, well written, well directed, well shot, all that. It was just like
That's the one that's 3 hours.
yes, 3 hours exactly. It was 30 minutes too long. Barbie was obviously much more entertaining. Not that dropping an atomic bomb is supposed to be entertaining. But so because of that, I like Barbie a little more just because I left feeling more satisfied leaving Barbie than Oppenheimer because my ass was hurting so bad after Oppenheimer. But I mean, they're both good movies.
Something you never got on Siskel and Ebert, by the way.
Yeah.
My ass was hurting
You
so
sit there
hard.
long enough, my butt starts hurting eventually. But no, I mean, they're both good movies, both worth going to see.
I mean, I'm not going to go to the theater to see Oppenheimer. I guess I'll just see it, when it's released. But I can't sit through a 3.5 hour movie without going to the bathroom.
You go right before and
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter for me because I'm going to want like the biggest Diet Coke they got, right? So I'm going to sit there and slurp on that the whole time. I'm not going to make it.
Depending on where you're stationed, though, you can get in and out of there in 90 seconds.
Yeah, you're right about that. I always feel like I'm going to miss the most important part of the movie when I go to the bathroom. You try to pick
I wait
when
for
it seems
something
like it's-
really big to happen.
Oh, and then you go after?
And then I go after.
Yeah, I understand that. Now, I'm not going to get into details of why it's happening because I just saw enough of it to know that, my God, in today's America, we will try to get clicks any way we can. But I saw battles going on between certain people on Twitter and other people on Twitter and on
X, by the way, not Twitter.
Yeah, on X. We got to get to that later. I got to
renaming that.
yes.
But there was like some overwhelming empowerment message inside Barbie. I mean, my goodness, can we not just go to a movie now and not have have people come out and debate whether they were trying to tell us that Barbie was fighting for women's rights and the empowerment of women and such like that?
The whole point of the movie is just be who you want to be. But if you go in wanting to see a certain message, you will come out seeing that message.
Yeah, confirmation bias. If I go in thinking, oh, this is going to be all about women's empowerment, I'm probably going to see that it was about women's empowerment.
Yeah, but Disney started this, way back in the day. A movie like WALL-E. Like kids see it as one thing, adults see it as another.
Yeah.
If you want to see it.
But if you
else.
want to. I mean, I just generally see it as a movie. I don't go in looking for all these hidden messages.
Call me a simpleton, a simple caveman. But when I went to see Porky's back in the day, I went to see the tits and the ass, I wanted to see the humor, right?
Right.
That's why I went to the movies. If I'm going to see Barbie, I'm going to see basically Gyllenhaal and Robbie, who are dolls who come to life.
Gosling.
Gyllenhaal.
What's his name?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, yes.
In my head, it's
One and
the
the
other
same,
one.
right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you on that, but I just
it's
think
two dolls.
and it's on both ideological sides of the spectrum. We love to find messages and start boycotting stuff.
Right.
I don't know why we've gotten to that point.
Yeah, again, I know you guys love when I bring up Sound of
Oh,
Freedom.
did you see that?
But it was,
Well,
it was.
It goes the same thing, Lance. Like, if you go in thinking I'm going to hate Sound of Freedom, then you're probably going to hate it.
That's right.
If you're wanting to go hate watch it. If you want to go hate watch Barbie, you're probably going to hate
Exactly.
it. If you go into Sound of Freedom thinking I want to watch a movie, then you're going to come out and say, that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
And, I mean, whatever the message is, I'm not saying that one in particular, but no matter what the message is.
And if
same
you
holds
wanna-
true for Barbie. If you want to go in and just be entertained by funny jokes, I mean, I was dying laughing the entire time. I'm not going in thinking I'm wanting to go watch some, women's empowerment movie. You can take it that way if you want to, but I went in to go be entertained, and bottom line, I was entertained. That's it.
right. It's a doll movie.
Yeah.
I went in to watch a doll movie.
But
I didn't see it.
We've got this stake bet on this, and my kids are like supporting you
Oh.
because they went in a big group outing on Friday night, and then Leighton goes back last night.
Double down.
You know why? Because they were just having fun. It was something to do.
Uncle
They're
Jim.
kids in America.
They're helping Uncle Jim.
Yeah, but she doesn't need to go twice. I mean, come on, especially the opening weekend. But Jack and Jace both said that first scene, I have no idea what it is. They said I would have got up and walked out. I don't know.
Yeah. But again, they enjoyed, what was the movie? Dumb Uncle or
No, Dirty Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa?
Grandpa.
Dumb Uncle, Dirty
Dumb
Grandpa.
Uncle, yeah,
Close.
same thing.
You're
Pretty
on
close.
fire today.
Best and worst of the weekend brought to you everything by our friends at Hemp Hill. They can help you with your plumbing, heating, and cooling. We'll jump into what was the best and worst of the weekend. My worst is going to be pretty obvious, but then it got doubled down by Forrester on the back row.
Yeah, remember, 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent Trane dealer. The team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a Trane. Do it now. 205-229-2090. That's 229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
I called it when the Rays were the first team to 50. I said the Braves would be the first to 60.
You did?
That our runs we'd stop producing runs. The Orioles are now in first place by 2 games. They took 3 of 4 in Tampa from the Rays, and Tampa's just not scoring runs. They lost a lot of mid-range to low-scoring games. And this brings Forrester on the back row. Forrester, I saw you in the chat room. You don't think I see everything you type over there, but I do. In the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room, would you please share with our viewing audience about what you shared?
Okay, well, first, my worst of the weekend. My White Sox are god-awful. 19 games under 500. And I have quit on them.
If you would just put that into a hotkey, you could hit that almost every Monday.
That
My
could be your
worst of the
worst
weekend
every
is the
Monday.
White Sox.
That's
My
right.
Yeah,
worst on the
so like
weekend is the White Sox.
half the White Sox roster is about to be on somebody else's roster.
Like if Lunsford said, "Give me a AI voice of Scott Forrester," it would be the AI voice saying, "My Red Sox are god awful."
I'm not a Red Sox fan.
I mean White Sox. My White Sox are god awful.
Get it right.
Yeah, but AI doesn't always get it right either. But you typed something really offensive over there, didn't you?
Well, so my best of the weekend, having quit on my White Sox as I have adopted the Baltimore Orioles for the remainder of the season. That's my team, and they kicked your team's ass.
I like it, Scott. I've got the Orioles, one of my 4 teams. We got this baseball pool, much like we do our football pool. And I got the Orioles in my dead last pick.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
4th pick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
If you go back, if you go back to our preseason rankings on opening day or whenever we did them, I had the Orioles making the playoffs and Tampa not making the playoffs. So this is not surprising to me.
It's kind of good to see the Orioles. I don't know why I
love that uniform.
I do too, and it's just kind of like a historic franchise, and they seem like they've sucked for a long time. It's kind of good to see them good again.
Does seem that. Best and worst of the weekend over in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. What do you have, Brown?
Michael's worst. Their baby hates sleep right now. The best football is near. Man, when your baby hates sleeping, it is tough. Hey, no doubt it's tough. I tell you, I'd like to say it gets better, but you never know. I guess every baby's different, right?
You know, I was with John and Lauren last night. We were at Inverness Country Club. What is undefeated is smoke machines in parties that are going on in, whether it's at a church or somewhere else,
right?
Not getting along with what is known as smoke detectors. You've got a smoke machine, and there are smoke detectors. So they've got the newborn baby who is sleeping perfectly at dinner, and then all of a sudden, the swimming team at Inverness Country Club's having a dance party with a smoke machine, and then what happens? Inevitably, smoke machine's going to produce what?
Yeah, smoke. Why don't you disable the smoke detector?
Yeah. Or I think a lot of places don't allow smoke machines. You do some kind of dry ice or something, I don't know, that keeps it from making it smoke. It's not real smoke, right? It's fabricated smoke, but somehow it set off the fire alarms. Hoover Fire Department has to come out, and we're covering up the baby's ears to save it for when it's older, so they're not hurting the baby's ears, and get it outside, and dinner's over at that point. It takes a while for the fire department to get there.
The night's over at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's trauma for a young kid.
Oh, I did. I was like, all right, see you guys later.
Sprinklers didn't go off, did they?
Not in the area we were in. I don't know if it did over in the smoke machine.
Because that's a membership assessment once the sprinklers go off.
I'm not a member. I was a guest.
Right.
So I've got a very relevant best and worst of the weekend for the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to go ahead and go, or do
Sure.
you want to hold it?
I don't know. I mean, well, we've only got a couple minutes of the segment. Why don't we tease ahead? Very relevant for the show.
Relevant. This is when Lance sometimes drops bombs on us.
Yeah.
Oh, these are 2 bombs.
Yeah. All right. This is Lance Oppenheimer coming up.
Okay. My gosh.
I mean, one is going to be significant for a long time. One I hope is not significant for a long time.
All right. Well,
I am intrigued now. I don't know about the viewers.
So next
and listeners.
segment, we'll do Oppentaler. That's coming up in the next segment. You go ahead and give us a couple more from our listening and viewing audience.
Kevin says, listening to Lance is like when I have to explain to my parents that Apple TV isn't an actual TV.
I got it.
Any more?
Best of the weekend from Caleb. Yes, Jim, there are more. My wife is celebrating my wife's birthday with friends. The worst, he doesn't have one, so the night must have ended well for him. Congrats to him. Landmine believers worse. Angels keep winning all this hype for Ohtani at the deadline, and they are probably going to keep him. That was the thing we talked about with Buster. The better they play, the less incentive it is for them to trade him to a team like the Dodgers or the Yankees or Dunaway's Rays or whoever it is.
The deadline is coming up at 5 o'clock Central Time, August the 1st. That was their last home game in Anaheim before the trade deadline. He hit his 36th home run, which leads the majors. They're going to skip pitching him against Atlanta because of the humidity, and they're going to save him to pitch in Toronto. So he may get one more start.
But according to Fangraph, they've only got a 15% chance of making the postseason. And you look at them right now, they're 8 back in their own division. And I've heard Artie Moreno is just one of these guys that doesn't want to deal him for a few months. He would rather keep him and then let him figure out his long-term destination after.
Because you also have to worry about your fan base. You can't send the message to your fan base that you're this close to making the playoffs. We're just going to give up because we can't sign this guy. Yeah. I mean, that's a bad. Those are your customers, and it's hard to treat your customers that way consistently.
And you're not going to get a big name back, so you don't want to be looked at history. Remember, Ohtani was traded from, Babe Ruth was traded from the Red Sox
for Tommy Simmons, and Tommy Simmons he's working at this car wash now.
Yeah. And I've heard the last thing he's going to do is trade Ohtani to the Dodgers.
Yeah. So he hates the Dodgers that much.
Yeah.
Well, in market, just hard to do. Kevin's best of the weekend, upgrading to a bigger, better truck. Worst of the weekend, forgetting to take his TNR sticker off his old truck when he traded it in.
We got more for you.
We'll replace that.
Yeah, Kevin, email one of us, and we'll send you a sticker, man. First of all, thank you for trading off a truck with a sticker on it, so somebody else is getting the sticker now, and we'll get you a new one.
Yeah, actually, that's the way we preferred you do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
We're going to do like caches this year for the kickoff party. Every car in our kickoff party parking lot, we're just going to have somebody go and pop a sticker next round sticker on there.
Did you say kickoff party? Maybe something coming up on that. I don't know. Tough Dog is somebody who helped Brown's Garage. Cars in there all the time. When we come back, we've got LT playing the role of Oppenthaler. He's going to drop a couple of bombs on us.
So Tough Dog is, they're the people that do the coatings for the garages, the basements, the pool surrounds, things like that. Now, perhaps you've been maybe in a high-end automotive dealership or garage, and you see the coating on the floor, and you're like, it's commercial only, not residential. That is incorrect. They did it at my house. They could do it at your house, too. The first thing they do is they come in, they check the floor for cracks. Any floor in like a basement or garage can have some cracks, but it could just be superficial. It may not be foundational. And then they're going to check the moisture. Make sure you don't have a moisture issue. If you pass both those tests, you're off and running. And Tough Dog's right back there, smoothing it out and then putting down the coating. Scott is showing you video from my very own garage where Tough Dog did it in my garage. They back up their product, too. They don't want it to fail. That's why they do the foundational and the moisture testing, so they make sure it doesn't fail. And they're confident in it. They give you a 15-year warranty. Listen, this just makes your garage look better. It makes it cleaner. It's easier to clean. It exceeds OSHA ratings for anti-slip, so it feels better under your feet. It actually smells better. It changes the smell of that garage or that basement. Helps your pool surround. You don't scorch your feet walking around your pool. It will not crack. It will not wear out like epoxy. It will not yellow in sunlight. It looks amazing. Here is the number to call, 205-947-3639. 205-947-3639. Jared and his crew at Tough Dog. And you can visit them online, too. ToughDogGarageFloors.com. That is T-U-F-F, ToughDogGarageFloors.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Conquer whatever summertime activities you want to take part in, all while wearing the perfect shoes. Our fit specialists take precise measurements of your feet and analyze how you walk and run so that your shoes fit perfectly. And we haven't forgotten about the kids either. We'll get them equipped for summer camp or whatever adventures they take on. Stop by the New Balance Birmingham store today, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today.
Summer is here, school is out, and that means moving season. If you need help buying a home or selling your home, you need Holly Mack Wilson. Let Holly Mack Wilson do for you what she did for 70 people last year. Find you the home of your dreams. She is a professional who helps you with every step of the buying and selling process. Holly Mack Wilson will help you find a home, negotiate the best price, and help you get your home ready to sell. She helps you get the most out of the house you are selling and helps you get into the home of your dreams at the best possible price. Holly Mack Wilson can help you find a home anywhere in Alabama, from Huntsville to Mobile. So call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446, or check her out online at hollymachomes.com. Then sit back and enjoy your summer. Who knows? She may even help you plan your summer vacation. That's Holly Mack Wilson at 205-901-9446 or hollymachomes.com. Holly Mack Wilson, your trusted and professional travel planner and Keller Williams agent.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Wrapping up hour number 1 here. That was some of the clips we sent you from Nashville last week, including us pranking Brown, showing up late to our team building roof outing where I was hiding to scare him there on the roof. And scared him a little bit there. You can see all that. It's still on our social media platforms. Charles Kelly with an interesting comment about Nick Saban and Deion Sanders coming up a little bit later on in the show. That's being brought to you in part by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Man, I love Leslie, her board-certified team over there. I go up to Nashville for, I guess we were there 4 nights, 5 days. We eat, drink a ton of stuff all day long. I came back home. I was the same weight, 188 as when I left. All that's just having a good plan in place from our friends at Way to Wellness. They can help you with your weight loss, but also your cholesterol and blood pressure numbers. They make you feel fantastic. You can get a free, no-cost consultation by going to this website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That is Way to Wellness. There's no contract. There's no sign-up fee, and your first visit, your first consultation is absolutely free. Check Leslie and the board-certified team at Way to Wellness out. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. LT with a couple of comments he has teased ahead to. What do you have, man?
My best and worst. So I'm going to start with the worst.
Okay.
So last Tuesday, we're in Nashville. Between sessions, me and Little T ran down Broadway to try to get some videos. Got a couple of things. And you guys remember when we returned, completely drenched in sweat.
I do remember that, yep.
Couldn't get an Uber out of there. If you weren't listening, don't know the story. I hooked up with head of security at the Grand Hyatt. He went to Lost and Found and brought me basically Bud from Urban Cowboy's shirt.
That's right.
In blue, not red.
It's a good looking shirt.
So I throw the shirt on, I wear it. Well, what happens over the last couple of days? My back is starting to break out.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
We got
From my neck to the small of my back.
Oh, no. Well, I kind of smelled that shirt. I got close to it, but I think
what can you catch from a shirt?
A lot of things.
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know what else it would have been. Like, my routine has not changed at all. I haven't had, like, a breakout on the back in, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have some doctors who watch us and nurses.
Too coincidental. Now, I will say this.
Lance is the one on the left. If you're just caught up, if you're just caught up in a wardrobe malfunction, throw in that QR code. It looks like Brandon Marcello is part of our QR code there almost. There's Lance. There's Brandon.
This shirt's amazing.
Yeah, so when we met Shannon Terry right before that, and I told him, I said, look, I got to explain my shirt. He said, you ain't got to explain anything. That shirt is effing awesome.
Yeah.
And so what I did, Jace is a country guy by heart. His birthday was this past week, and that was one of his birthday presents. Now, I did get it cleaned.
You gave him the shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
shirt,
clean
yeah,
now.
I gave him the shirt off my back, Brown.
Yeah. I gave you the acne breakout off my back.
He loved it. But, yeah, I don't know what it was.
Yeah. Matt says allergic to the laundry detergent fabric softener that may have been there. Do you ever take your shirts to dry cleaning?
I do.
I used to. Not anymore.
Okay. That shirt looked like it had been dry cleaned and starched. Several people are suggesting bed bugs. We would not suggest that.
Well, I did sleep in 4 different beds when we were in Nashville.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I was in Dunaway's bed the first night,
Right.
and then I was in an Airbnb that had 2 different beds, and I just jumped back and forth.
Just for clarification, when he says he was in my bed, I wasn't in it at the time.
Dunaway was afraid of a home invasion, so he moved upstairs.
And technically, I never laid on the same sheets as LT either, so my back is acne free right now.
Thankfully.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the worst of the weekend.
Okay. We can only get better from there.
Charles says, "Oh my God, if that shirt could talk."
I bet it has seen some stuff.
It's been on LT and somebody else.
That's about the only thing that shirt can't do.
Well, the funny thing is I think you guys, and it might have been Brown first, I think that thing's new. I don't think it's ever been worn. And then you studied a little closer.
Had a hole in it, yeah.
Yeah, and Ben's right. Brandon Marcello's shirt, can you pull it back up? He says that looks about like the guys from Tough Dog Garage Floor Sealing came in and said, you know what, we're going to seal that shirt for you. We're going to sprinkle that stuff in there.
Brandon, I can make that shirt exceed OSHA anti-slip recommendations.
We can put a logo on that shirt too.
This is the before after for me and Brandon.
Yeah, I remember the after.
Now the after would have been funny to see both.
Yeah, after was a little messy.
JA says I've slept in hundreds more men's beds than I have women's. LT probably.
Very true, JA, I'm sure. So my best of the weekend, you guys know I've been looking for a dog.
Oh, no.
And I got a call from the local breeder.
Right.
And they said, we think we found you a rescue. And it's really a sad story on why Red is being rescued. I found a 5-year-old male out of Fort Myers. He was with the Tampa Rescue. So I've just got to find a way to get to Fort Myers and get him back. I was going to have him flown here, but airlines, because of the heat, will not fly animals right now. So I've just got to figure a way to get down to Fort Myers. He is waiting on me, though, but I have a dog now, and I'm very excited about it.
It is because of the temperature, the heat, not that the Pat Riley and the Miami Heat are refusing to fly animals right now for us.
No, it's just, they fly underneath the plane, and it's just
too hot.
It's too extreme.
Yeah.
But I've got pictures that I'll give Forrester of Red, and very excited to meet Red. But unfortunately, the home he's been in for 5 years, situation happened, and he has got to be rehomed.
Where's Fort Myers? It's
near Tampa.
Near Tampa. So, I mean, you drive down and back. That's not that bad.
Fort Myers, I thought it wasn't that big of a deal.
No, it's almost 2 hours south of Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So you're looking at a good 12, 14-hour drive
It's
there?
its own TV market.
Or is that too much?
The way I figured that I was going to try to pull this is if we did our shows late August from Floribama, is I was going to drive from the Floribama.
Yeah.
It's a 9-hour drive from the Floribama to Fort Myers.
Yeah. There's a Blake Shelton song. I think if you
Red.
If you use a female dog and just put her in Red's area down in Fort Myers, and then put it in Tampa, and then put it up in Panama City, and then put it in Pensacola, and then put it in Gulf Shores, Red will find his way from his cage all the way up to the floor.
What if you paid an Uber for the dog to meet you halfway?
Well, here's the thing. There's a couple of unknowns with Red because he lives on a farm right now. And so when I was talking to his owner,
this is the opposite of what normally happens. Normally dogs go to the farm.
You're right.
Yeah.
I asked her. I said, "Well, is Red? How does he do in a car?" Well, he's never been in a car.
Okay.
So
that could be a problem.
He's going to be Butch Jones's team at Tennessee. This is Red's first car, first time in a car.
By the way, wait till Red gets that Wagyu.
Yeah, Red's first Wagyu.
I said, how does Red do when you guys like leave the house and come back? Well, Red loves his crate. He's crated, so we never leave him out. I said, well, I don't like to really crate dogs. But I'm not going to throw Red off his routine. We'll get him a new crate, and he's going to sleep in the crate.
Suggestions from the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. Nick says fly, then rent a car and drive Red back. You can do that.
No, I've looked at the...
Cuts half of it.
So even Pensacola to Fort Myers, what do you think a flight would be?
Oh, gosh.
They're not expensive.
$300?
No, it's like $150.
That's not bad at all.
The problem is the least amount of travel is 7.5 hours. Like the flights either go to Charlotte, they go to Dallas, they go to Atlanta, and they come all the way back.
I've got a couple of vacation days available.
You're selling them to Lance?
No. I'm saying that what would you charge me to fly down there and drive him back?
Well, I have already been offered. Somebody said that they would go take care of this for me. But I don't know if I want to be without the dog, especially if it's not used to being in a car for, 10, 15 hours, however long it takes.
Greg says there's nonprofits that do this. Greg from Pale City.
That is true. In fact, I believe I don't.
You're 100% of that. I know what you're about to say.
Matt, the Southern Pigskin guy who listens to our show in Nashville, does rescue dogs and drives them from shelters to needy families, to their homes.
Yeah, he does that.
Sounds like a great idea.
And I think our buddy Taylor Tannenbaum does some of that as well. I know she houses rescue dogs.
Matt's in Nashville, Taylor's in Charlotte, so you're probably going to need to get them to connect you with a South Florida one.
But I'm sure Tampa's a big enough market that I'm sure they have somebody that does this.
Right.
So that's good
congrats.
to know.
I'm glad you found old Red. You're
Laura
keeping the name.
Laura says they'll tag team the transport up here.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be easy. I think we can figure this out pretty simply.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody out there can help me. But
they just really need to get them to the Panhandle.
This is Tony. I can get him from Ybor City.
Yeah, like I'm not going to rename the dog because he's 5.
I like Red. That's a good name.
And he's going to go through enough trauma being uprooted from his home. I'll tell you guys a break. It's a really sad story.
The thing that's you already told me. The things the thing that's going to bother you the most is that he's a Tampa Bay fan.
He can pull for Tampa. Hey,
me and Red's going to come over and watch the Bucks.
There's not a way, Red.
Rusty's got quite the plan there. Hey, Lunsford, when are you going to Disney?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going down there till end of October, so.
Too long for Red.
Boo.
Yeah, I mean, Red is on a timeline.
Yeah. Rusty says this is all coming together. Taylor Tannenbaum brings LT his dream dog. Would be a dream win for him.
I mean, Taylor, very talented. We had her on the show not long ago.
Right.
She's probably going to be on the show soon.
Yeah, we'll get her back on.
Yeah. Don't think she's going to go from Charlotte to Fort Myers
Never know.
to rescue my dog.
She loves rescuing dogs. So there's the two bombs that LT's dropping on us today. One that he has scabies or cooties or any of the other things that we used to call them out on the playground at Thompson. And then there was that he's got his dog. So Red is in. So congratulations to Red. You've stepped into something now, my friend. Red, how long do Vizslas they expected life?
Oh, is it a Vizsla?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll get
did you leave that off?
Oh, yeah, he didn't tell me.
Yeah,
that.
I'll get forced to the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's taken me so long. I didn't want the puppy stage.
Yeah,
right.
And I wanted the Vizsla.
That's coming up. Phil Steele is in the very next segment. He'll join us. Odie's bringing you part of the show today. Tell us about our great friends at Odie's.
Odie's Tavern, you're in this week, right?
I am there Wednesday night.
Yeah, so it's going to be me, Ryan Brown, and Dayton Miller. That's going to be the 3. It's always a different changing lineup, it seems.
Lance Ryan's Dayton. It doesn't work that way. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But every week it's always fun. That's every Wednesday night. Outside of that, lunch or dinner. Rodney Davis has been doing it for 3 decades at Odie's. Great wings, of course, the burgers, delicious sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, ice cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light, live music on Fridays and Saturdays. Birmingham Institution. Get it and see Will Haver and that great staff. Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off, plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeousa of Birmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied in stock units only with approved credit. alfaromeousa of Birmingham.com. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
So much more college football coming up, including Charles Kelly, former Alabama assistant, now replacing Deion Sanders Friday at the Pac-12. How he compares Deion Sanders and Nick Saban. We'll get to that later on this hour. Well, let's start hour 2 off, Brownie, talking college football 33 days away from week 0.
Man, if you want to know what is Utah State's record coming off a night game, short rest, playing on turf under the lights, Phil Steele is your guy. He's got it in his annual that is out right now, and he is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Phil? How are you?
Hey, I am doing great. How about you gentlemen this morning?
Man, we are awesome. You can get Phil's his annual exclusively at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million this year. And philsteele.com for all the information on that, philsteele.com. We just left SEC Media Days, Phil. I don't know about you. I know probably when you send your thing to your book to the printer, it feels pretty good. But once you start seeing these media days, it means we are quite close right now. That's got to be a pretty good feeling, too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I work on nothing all year but college football. I don't follow any other sport, not even the NFL, just college football. It's always a lot more fun when the games are actually being played. So it's good to see the camps starting to open.
You know, I don't think anybody foresaw what Sonny Dykes was able to do in year 1 last year at TCU. And you have your surprise teams every year, which I love looking at. TCU was obviously that team last year, not only a surprise team, but, again, playing for a national championship. When you look at your surprise teams this year, is there any team that would be good enough to make a college football playoff on this list?
Yeah, and my surprise team list every year are teams that are not ranked in the preseason top 10 that I think actually have a shot at making a playoff this year. My number 1 team is Wisconsin. And when I look at Wisconsin, guys, when at first I did the magazine in a 3 right-through process, it's 7 months of work on the magazine. And in the first month or so, I wasn't too high on Wisconsin because I was a little afraid of the fact that they're going to more of a pass offense. And let's face it, they win their football games in November with the strong run game and the solid offensive line. But after talking to Coach Fickle and going over the team with him, he's not abandoning the run. In fact, he feels that adding the pass offense with a guy like Tanner Mordecai coming in from SMU, that they're actually going to open up holes for Braylon Allen and Ches Maluzzi in that big offensive line, and they'll have a more productive run game, which I think they can this year. And defensively, they go from 3 returning starters to 8. In fact, they go from number 107 on my experience chart all the way up to number 20 this year. Now, Fickle knows a thing or two about making the playoff. He's the only one that took a group of 5 team into the playoff. And then you factor in the schedule for Wisconsin this year. Their 5 road games are against Washington State, Purdue, Illinois, Indiana, and Minnesota. All 5 of those are in the winnable category. Their toughest 2 games are Iowa and Ohio State. They catch Ohio State, actually, the week after the Buckeyes host Penn State, so it might be a little bit of a letdown spot. Add it all up, I think Wisconsin's got a chance at 11 or 12 wins this year, which would put them in the Big Ten title game and put them one step away from making the playoff.
Phil, we just got back from Nashville and 4 days up there talking to the SEC, and it seems like the perception of Texas A&M has changed within the league going into this season. How much of that is the roster, and how much of that is Bobby Petrino, in your opinion?
I think it's a combination of numerous things. In fact, they're my number 1 most improved team in the country, and I actually have Texas A&M as my number 2 surprise team this year. Part of it is the experience factor, I think. Going over the team with Coach Fisher last year, he would get to the end of the thing, and I'd say, okay, how do you feel about the offensive line? And he said, Bill, I feel we're going to have one of the best offensive lines in college football next year. He wasn't talking about 2022. He was talking about 2023, and here we are. It is 2023. They go from number 124 in my experience chart all the way up to number 14, 10 starters back on offense, 10 on defense. The recruits that Texas A&M has been pulling in, these guys go from lightly experienced last year to very experienced this year. Bobby Petrino, I think, is a nice addition for the offense. Take away the play calling responsibilities from Fisher. That'll free up him for more of the other things. And then finally, this is a team that was 5-7 last year, guys. But remember, they beat LSU 38-23, and they're at the Alabama 2-yard line at the end of the game, thrown into the end zone with a chance to win it. They lost their top wide receiver, Anaya Smith, after 4 games. They used 3 different starting quarterbacks due to injury and had that miserable 5-7 season. I think this year A&M will be a player, not only in the West, but potentially a playoff spot.
Phil Steele is with us at PhilSteele042, PhilSteele.com. That's where he is on Twitter, by the way, at PhilSteele042, PhilSteele.com for all the information on his annual book that is so good. It's the Bible of College Football, and you can find it exclusively this year at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. You've got Georgia number 1, Phil, and I know you approach this from a statistical point of view. You're really, really good at that. So Georgia is on, a 16-game win streak if you go back to the national championship game and then all 15 last year. Nobody's won a national championship since Minnesota did it for 3 straight years, and that was back in the 30s. So there are a lot of statistics that kind of stack up against Georgia. So if not Georgia, why not Georgia?
I think what you just said is that the stats go against somebody three-peating, the fact everybody's going to be gunning for them. And you go back to last year. They had that close game against Missouri, a game they needed a rally in the fourth quarter to pull it out and win it. The Ohio State game, if Ohio State makes a field goal in the final play of the game, Ohio State's your national champ last year. So that's how close they were to not doing it. So the odds say they're probably not going to get there. But I tell you what, the talent and the schedule say they got a really good shot at it because, defensively, they've got 7 starters back, and they are more experienced defensively than they were last year. Yes, I know they lost 5 draft picks, but the previous year they lost 9 draft picks, 3 first-round draft picks off the D-line. This year they lose 1. I think the defense is actually even a little bit better than last year. And offensively, they got my number 1 rated offensive line in the country, number 4 set of receivers, number 6 running backs. And while they have a new quarterback, let's face it, Carson Beck's been there 4 years. He was my number 6 rated quarterback out of high school. He's 6'4", 215, and they're going to be a double-digit favorite in their first 10 games this year, which means by the time he perhaps gets his first true road test, it might be Tennessee, Week 11, and he'll be a veteran quarterback by then. So add it all up, I think Georgia has a great shot at repeating. But the numbers, as you point out, say that odds are they probably won't.
Phil, last week we were talking about out of sight, out of mind team, Clemson. Always, they were Georgia and Alabama for a minute. You've got them number 2 this year. Do you think it's Garrett Riley that makes that difference?
I think Garrett Riley's a big help, and I think you're going to see Cade Klubnik really blossom under him. But the thing that jumped out to me with Clemson was when I talked to Coach Sweeney and was going over the squad with him. Remember that 2018 defensive line they had? Part of the reason Clemson was a dominant team back then, all those first-round draft picks. He said this year's defensive line doesn't have the star power of that 2018 group, but is actually deeper in talent and experience. I made them the number 1 defensive line in the country. They've got Carter and Trotter back at linebacker. You look at the offense, as mentioned, you bring in a Garrett Riley as the play caller. You got Cade Klubnik, Shipley and Moffett running back, a veteran offensive line, and an improved receiving core. And I think Florida State's actually going to be the preseason pick to win the ACC this year by the media. But I've got Clemson, and part of it is what you just talked about with Riley coming in. Part of it's the defensive line. The third factor is their schedule. Their toughest 2 games on the schedule this year are Notre Dame and Florida State. They get them both at home in Death Valley. They've only lost 1 home game in Death Valley the last 6 years. I think they take care of business at home. I actually have them favored in all 12 games this year, and as you mentioned, I've got them number 2 in the country.
Phil, I'm really interested. Texas will be in the SEC next year, but they are so talented this year. I was so impressed with Quinn Ewers in the Alabama game last year before he got hurt. And their receiving core reminds me of some of the great Ohio State and Alabama rooms in recent years. What do you think of this Texas Longhorn team?
It's Texas's last year in the Big 12. Everybody's going to be gunning for them. The Big 12 schedule maker didn't do them any favors. They're the only one of the top 6 teams in the Big 12 that have to play each of the other 5. I wanted to find a reason not to pick Texas, but overwhelmingly the talent just kept putting me back there where I did pick them there. In fact, all 8 of the units rank in my top units, all of them mostly near the very top. And if you look at my Big 12 rankings, they rank either number 1 or tied for number 1 in all 8 position categories. As you mentioned, Quinn Ewers, from my reports, is that in talking to Coach Sarkisian, a vastly improved QB, and we saw what he could do against Alabama prior to the injury. The running back core is probably your biggest concern, but they are loaded with talent. And as you mentioned, the receiving core is outstanding. The offensive line returns intact. The defense brings back a player. It could have been the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year in Jalen Ford, top rated in all those units. And the only game I've got them an underdog all year is at Alabama. And let's face it, if they do get to that point where they're 12-1 at the end of the year and Big 12 champs, they'll make the playoff. You just know that everybody is going to give them their best shot this year.
Phil Steele is with us. You can find all the information at philsteele.com. He is on Twitter at PhilSteele042. You can find where you can get the book exclusively at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million this year. And he's with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Real quickly in the chat room, Lance says back in the early 90s, Phil, he used to sit in the magazine section at the grocery store while his wife shopped and read your college football report. And he says he guessed that's stealing. Do you consider that stealing from you, Phil, that he just read it and didn't buy it?
As long as they're getting the knowledge, I'm happy with it. But
right.
I can't imagine digesting the magazine in the process of one brief grocery store reading.
His wife wondered why he kept going back with it. So it's like,
there you go.
Feels like the guy, that first read at the stand there is free, and then,
That's right.
then you're hooked on
Then
the
you're
Phil
hooked.
Steele magazine. Yes.
Phil, I want to ask you, when you consider the SEC West, once you got past Alabama and LSU, how difficult was it to separate everyone else from Arkansas to Auburn, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, all those teams? I know you just said A&M. You don't find them underdogs a lot, but it seems like those teams are really, really hard to separate.
Yeah, I actually lumped Alabama, LSU, and A&M in that top group this year. So I'm putting A&M up there. Then the rest of them was a little bit tougher. The team I went with for the number 4 was Ole Miss. And Ole Miss was a team that last year was number 118 on my experience chart. This year they're up to number 27. We talked about the improved quarterback play at Texas. How about Jackson Dart? I think he's going to be one of the most improved quarterbacks in the SEC this year. They've got Quinshon Judkins back at running back. He's one of the best running backs in the country. And, of course, Kiffin has gone out and hit the portal hard, plus has 16 returning starters. They'll probably be an underdog at Alabama, at Georgia. I think that A&M game is going to be a toss-up. They get LSU at home early in the year, so the schedule's not super easy, but I think Ole Miss is my number 4 team. But I put Alabama, LSU, and A&M all in the top 3.
Sticking with the SEC West and back to your surprise teams, you always do a roulette chip. And I found this interesting because we had Hugh on the show last week, and I think this is going to be a team that gets better each and every week.
You talk about Auburn.
Yes. That was your roulette chip, right?
That's right. And Auburn is a team that here's the thing. Last year, guys, with Auburn, they lost that game to Penn State, right? And then when they blew the 17-0 lead against LSU and lost, at that point you knew Hugh Freeze was gone, right? Or not Hugh Freeze, I'm sorry. You knew that they were going to fire Harsin as the head coach. And then they left him twisting in the wind for all those weeks. And what happened, the team wasn't really bought in. You know, do you listen to the guy? You know they're going to fire him. And they went through that losing streak. Finally, they bring in Cadillac Williams, and they win 2 of the last 3 games with him as the interim head coach. When I talked to Coach Freeze, I'd asked him that big question, is the team bought in? Because I thought that was the failure in that 5-game losing streak last year, and he feels they are bought in. Now, overall talent, there's weaknesses, there's strengths on this unit. I think he'll have a better unit his second year. But this year, with 17 returning starters, they move up to number 39 on my experience chart with the additions in the transfer portal. I put them on my most improved list. I think they do make a bowl game this year.
You know, I'm really interested in Nick Saban's time in Tuscaloosa. Have you ever do you remember the times you've gone in and didn't know who Alabama's starting quarterback was going to be, or didn't have a good feeling?
No, very rare. In fact, for the magazine, they may say that there's a quarterback battle in the past, and you know who it's going to be. Here, there is really nobody knows. I don't think Nick Saban knows. I don't think the players know. And you've got 3 choices. Buckner coming in from Notre Dame, who knows the offense coordinator. Jalen Milroe, who's the most dangerous runner, and then Ty Simpson, more of a pocket passer. I think Buckner's the best combination. But you wonder who's going to get it, because Simpson and Milroe have been in the offense longer. Buckner's just coming in. Did he win the team over the summer? That's going to be the big question. But here's the thing I do know. I believe whoever wins the starting job will have a very good year as the starting quarterback at Alabama.
All right, before you go, Phil, regular season game you were most looking forward to as we sit right here on July 24th?
There are so many, guys. That's a tough one. I'm going to go with.
I'll allow a few answers if you want to give me a couple.
Come on, week 2. Come on down in our neck of the woods,
Alabama,
man.
Texas.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one. I tell you what, Alabama, A&M. I think on Alabama's schedule, the toughest game in my mind is going to be A&M because it's on the road. As we know, Bama's been struggling on the road the last 2 years, playing really good at home. I think they take care of business with Texas and LSU at home. I'm concerned about the A&M game. I really want to see Ohio State, Michigan at the end of the year. Ohio State, I ranked number 2 in my power poll, but they play a pretty tough schedule. But as mentioned, they were a missed field goal away from being the national champs last year. Notre Dame at Clemson, I think, sets up to be a really big game because Notre Dame could be undefeated at that time if they get through their tough schedule. They've got their toughest games at home prior to that. And then any of those Pac-12 games between those quarterbacks, they've got the top 5 quarterbacks in the league all back. I think you're going to have a lot of great battles there.
Really good. I look forward to any of those. I would watch all of them right now, of course. All right, Phil Steele is on Twitter at PhilSteele042, PhilSteele042. Scott is showing you, for those of you watching on video, his national cover there. You can get that exclusively at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million, but you can see it always online in order there, PhilSteele.com, PhilSteele.com for all the info. Phil, it is always fun talking to you, man. We greatly appreciate the time.
Hey, a lot of fun talking football with you guys today. Thanks for having me on.
Always. You too. Take care, Phil. Thank you. Phil with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. I was at a lake party this weekend.
Woo,
and
lake parties.
The wonderful family hosting said, hey, would you come look at the master bath? I want your opinion on what we should do with Brad Bell. And I was like,
one of those kind of lake parties. Yay!
My opinion is you should call Brad Bell and not have me look at it. I went in and looked, and they're like, do you think you can do this? Do you think you can do that? And my answer, of course, was, yeah, he's Brad Bell, man. He freaking wears a cape when he comes in there and redoes your bathroom. All right, so my wife and I bought our house, and we did not care for the master bath. Scott is showing you video. I know some of you are like, hey, I kind of like that master bath. That's a master bath. Everybody's got a different taste, right? That wasn't up to our taste. It was really white and light. We wanted it darker. We did what a lot of people do. They kick the can down the road on stuff like this. And finally, Jennifer said, we're getting it done. So she scoured the internet. She talked to contractors, people that use certain contractors. She selected Brad Bell, A-plus Tile Home Remodeling. I am so glad she did. He did tremendous work on our master bath, so much so Lance is like, you know what? I think I ought to do it in my house too. So there are before and afters from Lance's bath. You notice he went from a little bit darker to a little bit brighter, the opposite of what we did. That's the great thing about Brad. He's going to do it the way you want it done. We gave him our vision. He gave us his vision. It matched. You can call Brad right now, 205-422-1758. Master Bath Kitchens. Listen, that's where you're going to get your money back on remodels. Master Bath and Kitchens. When you go to sell the house, Brad does them both, and he does amazing work. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A-plus Tile Home Remodeling. If you missed any of this, reach out to me. I'll be happy to connect you with Brad Bell. He can do it anywhere in Alabama, 205-422-1758.
Man, your shower looks so much better. That open shower.
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. So last night I was going to the bathroom and I was thinking about Brad Bell and the work that he did because I don't have to turn on a light anymore because the bathroom is so lit up now.
Right.
With its
how bright it is, the color.
Yeah, and so absolutely love it.
He did great work.
Really good. In the next segment, we'll get to Charles Kelly's comparison of Nick Saban and Deion Sanders. Last week, Phoenix hit... not the Suns, but the city of Phoenix in that area, finished 19 days of 110 or more degrees, hotter days. And it was a record for them, 19 110-plus degrees.
And this is the place you love, right?
In 19 straight days. I was there at a good time of year, apparently. Forecast today, they since then the record had stopped. They went down to 109, didn't go 110 or over. 113 tomorrow. I think it's 109 today, 113 tomorrow. All the way until the end of July, 103 will be the lowest. In fact, on August 7th, we'll still be 107 in Phoenix. And I know it's dry heat as opposed to humidity and all this, but when you start cooking up 118 one day, it doesn't matter, does it?
Well, I think I told you guys when I was flying out of Minneapolis, the only time I had been there, I saw pools, and I'm like, how in the hell would you have a pool here?
Now, what, you get to use it 2 months of the year?
And in Arizona, it's almost too hot. Like my water yesterday when I was in the pool, it felt like bath water. I can't imagine what it's – I don't know what you would do to cool that down.
Yeah, that's what Tony and Courtney told me. Their pool, they were like – I said, is your pool, warmed up a little bit? Because last time I was in their pool, it was freezing. And they're like, oh, it's actually too warm now. It's bath water, basically, which, I don't mind getting into. If I'm really hot, it's still going to be cooler than what I am just off the golf course. But, I mean, there's, I think, 9 confirmed deaths and 45 that they're waiting to do.
Yeah.
So even the people who are, quote, unquote, used to that heat are melting. And we're supposed to get, it's moving into Texas and all that. We're about to have a heat wave.
It's interesting. You and I played golf Friday morning, and it was exceptionally humid.
It was.
Friday morning. And we played with a friend of mine who is actually my daughter's Taekwondo instructor, Master Scarcella. And he's from Buffalo originally. And he was the first one to say anything. He's like, my gosh, it is humid out here. And him being from Buffalo, I said, did you ever get used to it? He goes, no, I've really, I've just come to accept it. I've never gotten used to it. He said, but you grew up here. And I was like, it's just, like, I feel it, but it's just, it's what it is. Like,
but I would
think
rather
about it.
deal with that than a blizzard in Buffalo.
And that's exactly what he said. He said, I would trade this day for winter in Buffalo all the time.
Do you call him Master?
No,
I did. I didn't. Of course.
Did you bow
during the introduction? I did.
It
Of course, it was socially awkward during the introduction. I didn't catch his first name. He had Master Scarcella on his golf bag.
Right.
So there's no clue there on his first name. So I think I said one time, nice shot, Master.
What did I do to you? As soon as he was away from us, I walk up the doorway. I go, his first name's Justin.
Yeah.
I think you're good calling him Justin.
Which I didn't remember again after you told me, and I was like, hey, really good shot, big guy.
I call him Master Scarcella at Taekwondo because that's his place, right? And I think he deserves that respect. He's earned it. But, just out in the wild, I call him Justin. Good dude, man.
But you would call a doctor out in the wild doctor, right?
It just depends. How well do I know him?
Yeah. Do you call Jim and you're a Butcher?
Butcher.
Butcher.
Hello, Butcher.
Hey, Butcher. Great job cutting up Dunaway steaks.
That's something I've noticed about you with Tommy Spina. You call him Counselor all the time. I've never called him anything but Tommy.
Yeah.
But you call him Counselor.
It's more in light fun.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Tell us about New York Butcher Shop.
Look, he is the best butcher I know. Don't forget about the huge deli sandwiches, though. Catering options for your next business lunch meeting with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations to serve you. Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. Remember, you get a great discount, wines by the case. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, if you're starting to thin out up top, I got a name for you, Dr. Beckenstein. You've heard me talking about him on The Next Round. He is the guy you need to see. My hair has already doubled in thickness. I've been going to Dr. B for over a year now. Make the phone call that I made, 205-319-0316. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. T3hair.net or 205-319-0316.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com. It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeo.usa.birmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied, in stock units only with approved credit. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com.
Back with you. We'll get to cut 7 and Charles Kelly coming up here in just a second. Right at this very moment, making his first appearance, and UAB's first appearance at the American Athletic Conference's Media Day. Trent Dilfer's time at the podium is right now at 10:25 Central Time.
You want a prediction?
I'll predict he goes longer than any other American coach at the podium.
And it'll be rave reviews.
Oh,
People
yeah.
will be like, I don't know what UAB is going to be like this year, but boy, Trent Dilfer sells a good vision, or Trent Dilfer is so comfortable in this situation, and things like that.
So we have not got the media vote yet, have we? Anybody keep
Not
an
that
eye
I've
on that?
seen. I'll double check.
On
yeah.
where UAB is projected. That'll be interesting to see.
Near the bottom.
Well, we know that because we know what the roster is going through. So that's why we're projecting them there. I wonder how the American, because sometimes if you're voting in these things and you're not looking at roster, you just look at recent history. UAB's won a lot of football games, so it'll be interesting to see what the perception of the long-standing American Athletic Conference media people are.
And there's going to be very much, though, I think, a wait and see on Trent Dilfer. And that's natural, right? I think Trent would probably tell you that.
Viewing menu brought to you every day by our friends at New Life Art, LT.
Yes, our friend Daniel Moore has announced his next masterwork in oils. Legacy continues. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting. The Crimson Legacy features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute, sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. You can order right now, danielmooreart.com. That's danielmooreart.com.
All right, so tonight we've got a new HBO original documentary on Max, Golden Boy, the Oscar de la Hoya project. This documentary peels back the layers of the celebrated athlete to reveal a man struggling to come to terms with lifelong demons and the impossible burden of a nickname he couldn't live up to.
Actually, I've heard rave reviews.
Oh,
of
I'm
this
sure.
documentary.
Look, and he's had an incredible career, was an incredible boxer, has done great on the promotion side. Talk about those demons. I don't know if it helps who he's dating. You know who he's dating, right?
Oscar de la Hoya?
Yeah. And she got a tattoo on her back of him.
I remember seeing, it was the girl that used to be on the Golf Channel,
Yeah,
right?
Holly Saunders.
Holly Saunders, yeah. Holly's an interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also at 9 p.m. on Stars Encore, Clerks 3. I loved the first two, but I never saw the third one.
I'm just not a big Kevin Smith guy. I like Chasing Amy.
What is Clerks? What's
It's the
what's it
Kevin
about?
Smith movie about two guys who work at a convenience store, and it's shot in black and white.
And he
it's
spent
just their day at the convenience
maxed his credit cards like $33,000 entire budget, and that's how he got his start. I mean, it's critically acclaimed, and it's led to a huge career for Kevin Smith.
store. And then also tonight on Hulu, the return of Futurama season 11. So if anybody
We got
wants to
nothing
watch
in
that.
common, Tyler.
I like Tyler's viewing so much.
That's what Tyler is watching tonight, brought to you by our friends at New Life. We appreciate them so much. Cut 7, Tyler. Employee number 11 is going to pull up this cut. Pac-12 Media Day was a one-day affair. We did 4 days at the SEC in Nashville last week. I think it's 3 days for the ACC and 2 days for the Big Ten, but 1 day for the Pac-12. And this is cut number 7, Charles Kelly, who was in Tuscaloosa as part of the Alabama coaching staff. Now he's in Boulder, part of the Deion Sanders coaching staff. And he gets asked, can you draw now, working for both these guys, any how are they different? How was Deion and Nick different? And Deion, of course, not at Pac-12 Media Days because of surgery. Charles filling in for him. So you worked with Saban. Now you've been working with Deion. Can you tell us what's different about these two guys?
There are a lot more similarities about Coach Saban and Coach Prime than there are differences. And when I say that, I always say this first of all. First of all, they're very good men, right? Very good men. And they have conviction. So when they believe in something, they fight for it, right? That's a sign of a good person. And they tell you the truth. They tell you what is the truth, not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And, that, to me, they're very similar in that aspect. The other thing is they have a way of setting a standard, and they're not going to divvy off that standard. That standard is a standard. So they're not going to come off of it. And everybody that works with them is going to be the same way. And when the standard is the standard and you're a leader and you bring people to that standard, that's how you elevate your program. So those are the similarities that I see between Coach and Coach Prime.
Coach and Coach Prime is how he still references Coach Saban and Coach Prime there. But does what he said surprise either one of you right there?
Not at all. And if I'm a Colorado fan, I'm excited. Look, there's a lot of show that comes with Deion Sanders.
Packaged very differently is what you're saying.
Oh, there's no doubt. But much like the credibility that came straight in with Saban, the show is good for a brand like Colorado.
Would you guys agree that Deion Sanders, if he's not the best defensive back in NFL history, he's certainly in the discussion? Right?
I would have him as the best cornerback to ever play the game.
Yeah. And I said defensive back, but you're right. Yeah. If you narrow it down to corner, because you go defensive back, you include Ronnie Lott and people like that. But best corner to play the game. Most would say him, Darryl Green. There's some that a lot of people throw in there. You don't get to that point without being driven. I mean, you can rely on athletic ability only so long. And he had tremendous athletic ability, but he had to be a driven person to get there. There was a lot of extra mustard on the hot dog with Deion Sanders that it caused a lot of people not to like him.
And I personally think he's the best return guy of all time.
Even better than Devin Hester.
Yeah, and people would say Hester just because of the touchdowns. But when Deion was out there, man.
But you don't get there. I mean, that's
No.
too hard to do without being a driven person.
That's right. Many times he had accomplished enough to where he could have, sort of just sat on what he had accomplished and not continued to work. I mean, he did enough in Atlanta, did enough in San Francisco and Dallas, different careers basically, did enough at Florida State. He made enough money early on. He could have shut it down.
Yeah. So by getting back into coaching and doing it to the level he did it at Jackson State, I think it showed us he hasn't lost his drive.
That's right.
I don't think it.
Because he didn't need the money.
Well, and that's where I was getting to. Do you think Deion Sanders has blank you money?
What's his net worth?
I would say his net worth is.
If he had just finished his career, he would. The pay scale has changed a little.
He would have $100 million if he just finished his career. I'm going to say he's got $18 million.
$40 million is his net worth reportedly.
Not FU money, but he's
not,
good.
Yeah.
But it is a money to the level that if boosters come in and start saying you got to do it this way, you got to do that, he can always say, actually, I don't, because I don't have to have this job.
That's right.
I want this job to be successful, but my family eats whether I have this job or not. And I think that is, for his ability to succeed, I think that is a massive thing that he can tell boosters, get out of my office, I'm doing it my way. And if you don't like it, you can fire me today. The buyout is Section C in my contract. You write the check and I'm out of here.
Are you guys surprised that he was not more of a marketing star? I mean, like you think about, obviously what Michael Jordan was, what Tiger was, what Charles Barkley is still to this day. Are you surprised Deion wasn't more like endorsements?
Yeah, I don't. Look, I know Deion's capitalist. He's all about the almighty dollar.
Tell me what he endorsed.
I'm trying to think.
Nothing pops out to me.
I thought,
but he still has a lot of opportunity to do
I
this.
think I remember Gatorade. I think I remember he was Gatorade. So do you know the backstory on it? He's back with Nike now, which I find really, really interesting. But do you know the backstory on Nike, on why he left Nike?
I don't.
Reportedly, he had seen the way Phil Knight treated guys like Charles and Michael, and he wanted that same treatment. All he wanted was Phil Knight to come see him, and Phil Knight never would do it. So he told Nike, as soon as this contract over, I'm done. If this is the way Phil Knight's going to treat me, if he treats Michael that way and Charles, and I don't know if Tiger had come along at that point, I'm out. And he went with Kevin Plank and Under Armour. But it's gotten to the point now, and he said he'd never go back, never take another dollar from Nike, reportedly. But now it's to the point where I think he scanned the landscape and I'm probably going to be working for a Nike school the rest of my life.
Right. I think
maybe an Adidas school, almost never an Under Armour school.
If you could go back, I'm sure Phil Knight probably would meet with him now.
Right.
Or would have met if he would have known how good Deion was going to be.
But he announced he's back with Nike, so he's into the Under Armour agreement. Under Armour was very classy about it on the way out the door. And now he's announced he's back with Nike.
And Colorado's a Nike school.
They are a Nike school.
So that solves the problem
That's
they had
the
on
logo
gear.
problem,
Yeah.
yep.
But Phil Knight, so good at his craft. Say what you want about Phil Knight, whoever the individual is, but dude knew how to market. And you guys, you haven't seen Air yet, have you?
I have not.
I've not.
Yeah,
no.
when it hit, I think it's probably on pay-per-view now.
Yeah, I'll probably go watch
Yeah, I
it. I've
would
heard
check
it's
it
really,
out.
really good.
Really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Affleck is really the only thing I can promise you, but that has been late in his career.
Yeah, and that's him and Nick Saban
That's right,
together. But I can't think of anything. I'm sure Google Deion Sanders endorsements.
Again, I'll never forget where I was watching the draft, and Deion Sanders, when it got time and Detroit was coming up, he was like, Detroit doesn't have enough to put me on layaway. And he had more gold and ice on than Mr. T back in the day. And this is straight out of Florida State. But he always had that charisma, and maybe that rubbed people the wrong way back in the early 90s.
According to this, he has at times in his career endorsed Nike, Under Armour, Pizza Hut, GMC, Van Heusen, American Express, and Affleck.
Only one I remember is Affleck.
And that's because it's the most recent. But if you pulled up that for Jordan and Barkley, I mean, my goodness, Shaq, it's insane.
Shaq endorses them all.
Yeah, but
you can't bring anything to me that I won't endorse.
But he also gets a piece of the
That's
company.
right.
too.
He ends up on a part of the company.
I'm
yeah.
not saying he's
been smart about it.
Yeah. Brown's the one that educated me on that, which was really interesting. Simpio educated us on a lot of things when we started this project almost 2 full years ago. We're about to go into year 3 coming up here on August the 16th. Really excited about that. We got some big announcements coming up. Tell us about our friends at Sympio.
Yeah, Sympio is going to take care of the BS in every single office. When a business joins Sympio, they take care of the 4 pillars: compliance, HR, payroll, benefits. When your company joins Sympio, they give you access to health care and employer benefits at prices only the large organizations get. Look, there is zero contract. You can join Sympio any time of year. With that being said, in over 5 years of business, Sympio's got a 99% retention rate. Call Blake and the guys, 205-635-7467 or Sympio.com.
Coming up in our next segment, we'll unveil our 40 and 40 team today. We're to number 7. I'll tell you who that is and show you in a second. Yesterday, it's the final major of the year, right? The Open, the British Open, because we moved the PGA up. So Brian Harman wins that one. SEC Power, Brown.
He went to Georgia, Jimmy Dunaway.
Yeah, he wins the British Open. Amazingly, right? He's only the 5th left-hander ever to win a major in the history of golf.
Phil Mickelson, Brian Harman, Mike Weir. Bob Charles, did he win one?
Bubba Watson.
Bubba Watson. I can't believe I forgot Bubba Watson.
Yeah. I don't know the other one. I didn't know we were going to name him. Just the 5th. That was amazing. What was more amazing to me, he did it in 106 putts, which is a record by 3 putts in the majors. Only 106 putts. I did the math. He averaged 1.4 putts over 72 holes.
Yeah.
So this is a good golfer, no doubt about it.
Oh, no doubt.
I think he's got the most top 10 finishes, at least this is out of his words yesterday, since 2017 than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, he has been he's just been a stalwart out there on the PGA Tour, just a guy that flies under the radar, could walk through an airport, nobody knows who he is.
Probably has 30 or 40 million in the bank.
Yeah, small guy, probably. He says 5'7", probably 5'5".
Yeah, he's tiny. You can tell by looking at him out there.
Look at him in the chair over here.
I know, the chair just swallows him up.
Look.
And then there's the forced perspective. The claret jug looks massive next to him.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Stanley freaking Cup, but it's the claret jug. So here's the deal on Brian Harman. Georgia guy. He said after the round yesterday, he woke up, he had a lead, but he went into Saturday with the lead. He said, I just kept thinking about what Kirby Smart said going into the season last year. I'm not going to be hunted, I'm going to hunt. So he continued to be aggressive. And then afterwards in the news conference, after he said that quote to live TV, he talked about Kirby Smart one more time. No, just we'll crank it. We'll crank it back up there again. No audio on there?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And Brian Harman's silent.
Uh-oh.
I like what he said.
Let's try it. Let's see if we got it. Hit it.
We've had a massive failure.
Forrester?
Poor Brian Harman.
Which box do I put this in?
But at 36, the second oldest first-time major winner since we saw Sergio back in 2017 win the Masters.
I thought it was cool, too. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he said he had made 2 bogeys on Saturday. And he's walking, those British fans over there, they're respectful to the game, but they can be honest and brutal.
They're soccer fans at heart. Yeah.
That's right, and they're pulling for Rory and Fleetwood. They're pulling for their national guys, right? And he said he's walking from green to tee, and a British fan says, Harman, you don't have the stones for this.
Yeah, you don't have the stones to finish this.
And he said it was that point on. It's like, I am going to prove that blinker wrong.
Yeah.
Didn't you assume though the entire time that up until Sunday that Harman was going to somehow blow this?
Yeah, and Rory started out really good on Saturday, and you're like, if Rory gets up there, that's going to put some fear in. And Rahm had a great Saturday.
And then Rory started again Sunday, and you're like, if he gets this within 2 or 3, this guy could falter. Brian Harman talking about Kirby Smart.
Brian, did you speak with Kirby Smart last night? And if so, can you tell us how he helped you today?
No, I didn't speak with Kirby. I've been really impressed with the way that he's handled success. And so I've always I always pay attention when really successful people talk. There's always clues there as to how they feel. And I've admired the fact that even with all the success that he's had, it's all about the next play, the next game, the next week of practice. And he knows that the results come because of, what you do in the trenches.
That's Brian Harman after winning yesterday. By the way, if you're a mybookie.ag fan, He went off at 100 to 1 odds to win. 100 to 1 odds to win.
One of the best in the chat room earlier was one of our audience members that said he got him at 210 to 1. I don't know when he made the play, but 210 to 1.
I saw 125 to 1. I'm sure it fluctuated all over the place.
I'm
anyway,
sure 210 to 1 was several months ago.
You played Harmon, you won some money.
Yes, you did.
$3 million check he walks away with, too. It's a life-changing win for a Georgia Bulldog there. When we come back, we unveil our team in our UCA countdown, Urology Centers of Alabama 40 and 40 countdown, as we continue on to the day. The show being brought to you from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studio by our friends at Bud Light. Hey, a quick reminder, the Bud Light Backyard Tour is coming to Birmingham on August the 8th, featuring Seaforth. Bud Light wants to make it easier for you to get the most out of your summer, so they're giving away over 300 tickets for free. Enter now for a chance to win your tickets at budlightbackyard.com. That's budlightbackyard.com. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents, excluding Florida residents. I don't know why we exclude Florida residents.
Florida man's too dangerous. We got to take him out of it.
You must be 21 to enter, but it's Seaforth who's coming to town August the 8th. It's in Birmingham, the Bud Light Backyard Tour, 300 free tickets. Enter now for your chance to win at budlightbackyard.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
Maybe you're like me. You bought a house where you didn't like either the kitchen or the master bath, but you put off the renovation. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. We decided to finally pull the trigger on that. My wife found Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. I am so glad we did. His crew came out and did tremendous work in a clean and timely fashion, and we absolutely love the results. Call Brad Bell now, anywhere in Alabama, 205-422-1758. That's Brad Bell with A+ Tile Home Remodeling, 205-422-1758.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
If you have water or fire damage to your home or business, DryTech is here to help. They work for the customer, not the insurance company. They respond quickly, within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They have 5 crews ready to go 24/7, built to go on the job when it happens. DryTech has 65-star Google reviews, so call DryTech, not the insurance company. Find more online at mydrytech.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Will asking his own questions in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. What happens first? Nick Saban wins another championship or Rory wins another major?
Rory gets 4 shots a year, and he's good anywhere. So I would probably
I would go Roy.
And he can do it longer, right? More chances.
Yeah, but man, he's going a decade now, which is crazy to think about with his ability.
As Chris says, he gets more chances, right?
That's right.
Tripp says, by the way, that's why he doesn't think Rory wins another major. All these young guys that Tiger birthed are in their 20s, and damn, they're good.
They are.
They
Tom
are.
Kim, Sepp Straka, local guy. Hovland, Cam Young, names I can't pronounce. Willie Z when he's healthy.
Zalatoris is a guy that looked for a minute like this
Yeah.
guy is going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was top 5 every major. I mean, he lost in the playoff to Justin Thomas in the PGA last year, but then he got hurt.
Our friends at Legacy want to remind you that sometimes you can get hurt financially. That's why you need a lifestyle loan. Maybe it's medical expenses. Maybe you just have major expenses that just stack up out of the blue, like occasionally happens to our friend Lance over here. Maybe you need a dog shipped from Tampa in a safe environment to get them all the way here to Birmingham. That can happen with our friends at Legacy with a lifestyle loan. Can be used for unexpected medical expenses. Maybe you want to update your backyard. Maybe you want a dream vacation. No collateral required, affordable low rates, and more. To get details, go to legacycreditunion.com. They got everyday checking, and they're the official credit union of the UAB Blazers, including naming rights on the practice facility, Legacy Pavilion. Also, they've been dedicated to the education and healthcare industries in Birmingham for over 60 years. Get all the details of how Legacy can help you, including the car and truck loans, too, which are fantastic at right there with legacycreditunion.com. Legacycreditunion.com, federally insured by the NCUA. Baltimore takes 3 or 4 versus Tampa. Orioles up 2. Baltimore at Philadelphia today. Toronto and the Dodgers start a series. Ozzie Albies. I mean, if it's not Acuna, if it's not Olsen, it's somebody else. Albies hits a 3-run homer in the 8th yesterday. Now, the Braves have only won 4 of their last 10. They're 4-6 of their last 10.
It's a bad stretch for them.
They're only 11.5 games up in the division.
I don't know if they can win it.
And they only have the best record in Major League Baseball by 3 full games. So no need to panic and start jumping off the Atlanta ship. It is a perfect time of year to have a sort of mediocre run to get hot again.
That was a great series, though. I mean,
them in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
yes.
nip and tuck in Milwaukee leading the Central right now. It's a good baseball team.
About a half game in first now.
The division that seems like it's changed the most, though, since the All-Star break is the NL West. All of a sudden, Arizona looks kind of human, and the Dodgers look like they're figuring it out and starting to pull away.
Cream rises to the top. Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland both inducted into the Hall of Fame yesterday. Fred McGriff's in our Sports Hall of Fame when it comes to sports commercials with the old videos they used to do.
Was it Tom Amansky? Was that the guy's name?
Yeah, it was Tom Amansky.
And he'd always have the no logo hat.
Yeah, and
really
it
good.
sat like this.
Hi, I'm Fred McGriff. No, not the crime dog. What was it?
Yeah,
it was the crime dog. Yeah, the crime dog. And he'd point at the camera for the Tom Amansky thing. All I remember,
McGriff was a complete stud. I mean, the
he
only
was.
player in Major League history to hit 30-plus with 5 different teams. And I didn't realize that he had been dating his wife since they worked at, according to her, Burger King together when they were kids.
Oh, that's a good story.
Yeah,
though.
that really
like
is. I didn't know that.
Drop another load of fries over there, Fred, and let's go out on a date.
I just remember the Tom Amansky thing was kids throwing it from the outfield into the trash can. You remember that? He had the trash can laying at home plate.
Yeah. And just a commercial. You could start doing those drills yourself. Don't even buy the videotape. It's time now for our Urology Centers of Alabama 40 and 40 countdown, voted on by 67 of you and us. It's the best preseason poll that's out there, and we're all the way up to number 7. Before we unveil the team, tell us about Urology Centers of Alabama.
Yes, compassionate, comprehensive urological care, 35 positions, 17 locations across Alabama, patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Visit urologycentersalabama.com. Schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Show me what you got there, Scott.
Whoa, we are.
Only by 2 points. Look how close that was. Penn State edging out USC in at number 7. We are
Penn State.
Thank you very much.
The most boring cheer ever to match the most boring uniform ever.
I love the uniform.
I like the uniform.
But you got to say it's boring.
Texas is 10. Florida State is 9. USC 8. Penn State is in at number 7. What you got on Penn State, LT?
Well, it's just such an interesting program under James Franklin because they're perennial the 3rd best team in the Big Ten, and they're on in their own division. I mean, when you stack it up with Ohio State and Michigan, I mean, those are teams that are in the college football playoff consistently. Penn State's never been there.
Divisions going away helps them because that means some years they may not have to play either Ohio State or Michigan or both.
Yeah, and if you happen to lose at Ohio State, you don't need Ohio State to find 2 losses for you to play for the championship. If that's your only loss, you're going to probably play them for the championship, or Michigan or anybody else.
But they have won a Big Ten championship.
They have, yeah. 2016, went to a Rose Bowl, played USC in what was one of those classic Rose Bowl games. You had a 4-year starter at quarterback in Sean Clifford. He's out. Drew Aller's in. And Aller is one of these guys they believe is going to be an upgrade, even in year 1 over Sean Clifford. And I think a lot of it comes down to the good news for Penn State fans is last year when they rushed for 160-plus, they were 10-0. They're 13-0 over the last 2 years when they rushed for 125 yards plus. You've got Nick Singleton back there. You've got Katron Allen. I mean, you've got arguably the best 1-2 punch running back wise in all of college football. 2
Rose Bowls for James Franklin. I think it's safe to say in his tenure at Penn State, they've consistently been the 3rd best team in that conference. Now, I know they don't settle for 3rd best, and they're not paying him to be 3rd best, but you would have to say that, right? Ohio State and Michigan have been the 2 best. They've consistently been the 3rd best.
They are perennial, the 3rd best team in that division.
Sometimes a little high in that division, but also in that conference.
But historically, the Big Ten, it's Michigan, Ohio State, and everybody else is at best third best.
But I think they've separated themselves from everybody else. I think there's a clear-cut 3rd best, Penn State. I mean, better than Wisconsin, better than any of those teams.
But for this year's team, the expectations are there, even with a new quarterback, with what they have back at the receiver position, the running back position, along the offensive line. On defense, it's starting linebacking core, starting to look more like old-school Penn State linebackers. They're going to be good defensively again there. If not now, then when for them?
Yeah, they've got the makings of a team that can win a championship this year. And I talk about a Big Ten championship. But Drew Aller, he's going to be the key at quarterback. And then Quentin Cephas comes in, or Dante Cephas, I should say, the Kent State transfer at wide receiver. He, at least according to Franklin, is going to be their number 1 coming in. When you look at the schedule, they're going to be favored probably 11 of the 12 games. The only time they're going to be a dog is when they travel to Columbus to take on Ohio State.
But I do find in that first month of football, they open against West Virginia, which is a prime. Week 1, we've warned you, is not the best TV week for you. That is prime time NBC at 6:30, week 1 against West Virginia. I think that week 3 game is really interesting in the big noon kickoff at Illinois. That's a tough spot for them, I think, in that first month of football.
Well, I think there's going to be scares for Penn State. I don't see this as a team that's going to dominate. I think that's a scare. I think Iowa can be a scare.
Yeah, that's a home game, primetime CBS week 4.
At Maryland possibly. Michigan State, that's going to be a neutral site on at Ford Field. Obviously, Michigan coming in into Happy Valley to take on Penn State. I think they go 10-2.
10-2.
10-2 is not good enough for a championship.
Doesn't get in your playoff. Maybe gets you into another New Year's Six bowl game. Here is James Franklin talking with Adam Brenneman of Next Up. Not Next Round, Next Up. Not Next Round, Next Up. Here's Adam Brenneman and James Franklin.
Does it help if you start higher, with where your rankings are? Yes, because if you're outside of the top 25, TCU was able to do it, but that's hard to do. Yeah. So I think the excitement is great, and there's a reason for that, right? We got a ton of really good players returning. We were able to end the season with a really good win on the road, essentially, at the Rose Bowl against a really good Utah team. I got a ton of respect for Coach Whittingham and what he's been able to do there. So there's a lot of momentum coming into the season, and then we had so many young players that played really well. And then you got a guy like Olu Fashanu who decides to come back. And then Drew, to your point, Drew gets in games last year, and you can do all the drills you want, but the thing that he showed is poise. He looked so comfortable when he was in there. And I'm talking like Purdue game 1 on the road in the Big Ten. So there's reasons for it, and I get it. But we just try to control the things that we can control, which is how we're working, how we're preparing, how we're building our chemistry as a team, and then go out and hopefully prove people right and prove some people wrong.
Yeah, I mean, him getting in the games, you could not switch quarterbacks. You had a fifth-year starter. I mean, it was impossible to switch last year with Sean Clifford, right?
I think it was. And Sean Clifford wasn't bad. I mean, Sean Clifford was a solid quarterback. So, yeah, I don't think you could go away from Clifford last year. But It's so difficult to see Penn State, as good as this roster can be, is a team that would be better than both Michigan and Ohio State.
Mark Ingram, who's the new analyst on the Big Noon kickoff pregame show with Urban and Quinn and all those guys, he thinks that Michigan is the team that could win the national championship because they have a quarterback back. Ohio State's new quarterback, Penn State's a new quarterback in the SEC, Georgia's a new quarterback, Alabama's a new quarterback. A lot of people with new quarterbacks. He thinks Michigan could be the team that wins it all. Penn State will be somebody that they'll have to deal with there. That's our 40 and 40 team today, brought to you by our friends at the Urology Centers of Alabama.
Yeah, patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Again, that Men's Health Center, it is fantastic, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. Visit UrologyCentersAlabama.com to schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Greg from Pell City in the chat room over there. Is the SEC Game of the Week still going to be CBS at 2:30, or has it changed? I hear you mentioning other conferences on CBS. Brownie?
CBS 2:30 is the, for the rest of this year, this season only, is still there for the SEC. What you're going to get, though, is you're going to get some double headers. And I don't know if anybody cares. I find it interesting. I don't know if anybody else will. But for instance, week 4, Saturday, September 23rd, you've got the Iowa Hawkeyes and Penn State, primetime CBS 6:30. Do you think they'll send Brad and Gary to that game knowing that that's their future?
Depends on who they have for the CBS game.
Yeah, I don't know who the CBS game would be. I think I looked ahead.
I bet they will, though.
Yeah, but if is it week 4? Is it number 1 Georgia playing somebody? Then you usually keep your best crew with Georgia.
Yeah, so yes, to answer his question, the rest of this year, you're going to have the CBS 2:30 game. And then Greg Sankey did a good job, if you want to go back and watch, of explaining kind of how that TV deal is going to work once ESPN has everything.
The first official segment with Greg, or the 100-minute bonus segment?
It all ran together. I can't remember. I think I remember looking that that game was going to be Bama Ole Miss. I remember looking at trying to project the CBS schedule and thinking they would have Bama Ole Miss that day. So if Ole Miss is undefeated and Bama has beaten Texas, you think they'll go undefeated Bama Ole Miss or Penn State Iowa with Gary and Brad?
Is Penn State and Iowa both undefeated?
There's a chance. I don't know what Iowa's got.
I got it right
Penn State
here.
is.
Yeah, Iowa, Penn State, I think is going to be 3-0, and Iowa has got to go to Iowa State week 2. If they escape there, they're going to be 3-0.
Yeah, so you could have 4 undefeated teams in those games.
Tough call at that point. We've only got 33 days away. I asked you to do this once. Is there a chance I can get you and Taylor together? I'd love to see you project the CBS the best SEC game, or the best weekend. That's what we're doing.
No,
the best weekend.
I was going to do it the 13 shows leading into the season. I'm
13
working on it
shows
already.
leading into the season.
Yep.
Okay. So that's coming up.
Or we
bit
can
later
start
on.
it soon. You just tell me what you want to do.
Top of the hour right now. When we come back, we will continue our football conversation. LT's got 4 downs. The show being brought to you in part by our friends at Gutter Cap.
823-2212. C. Stu, Chris Stewart, good friend of ours, just a great dude. He's been doing it for more than 2 decades here in Birmingham. The last thing you want to do is clean out the dirty, dangerous gutters. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. Again, it's a lifetime warranty. 823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Conquer whatever summertime activities you want to take part in, all while wearing the perfect shoes. Our fit specialists take precise measurements of your feet and analyze how you walk and run so that your shoes fit perfectly. And we haven't forgotten about the kids either. We'll get them equipped for summer camp or whatever adventures they take on. Stop by the New Balance Birmingham store today, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off, plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeousaofbirmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied in stock units only with approved credit. alfaromeousaofbirmingham.com.
If you have water or fire damage to your home or business, DryTech is here to help. They work for the customer, not the insurance company. They respond quickly, within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They have 5 crews ready to go 24/7, built to go on the job when it happens. DryTech has 65-star Google reviews, so call DryTech, not the insurance company. Find more online at mydrytech.com.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
At some point today, I don't think it's happened yet as we sit here at 11 Central, but at some point today, actually now the story is coming. Ex-Northwestern volleyballer suing over response to hazing. I just saw Adam Rittenberg say, I assume this is about football, that Northwestern today was going to announce a lawsuit with a horrific incident details coming up. Horrific was the word they used. So I'll see if it involves the Northwestern volleyball program or if it's back to the football program. But a bad time for Northwestern athletics these days. And for a school like that struggles in so many sports, you just wonder how long this sets back that football program and other programs in that department.
You know what I heard this morning is Skip Holtz was offered the job.
At Northwestern?
Yeah. Yeah, if I was Skip, I would have taken it. Again, I don't
know.
I mean, it's a mess, but it's still a Big Ten job. There's not going to be any expectation this year.
Here's how I would have taken it.
And let me just say this real quick, Brown. I don't know if he was offered the long term. There's a title for this. It's not interim. I forgot exactly the way they phrased it.
Yeah.
But I know he was at least offered this year. At least that's what the reports were.
Here's how I would take the Northwestern job. If my agents can go in and say, you guys know this is a complete mess. My guy is clean as a whistle, man. He's got a great background, can coach football, but he is taking a massive risk jumping in, and this is going to be a long rebuild like Matt Rule had to do at Baylor. And, there was another
4-year, $20 million guaranteed, you'd take it.
Oh, I'd want to go deeper than 4. No, I mean, I'm talking, I'd say 10 years, and it's guaranteed. Every dime of it is guaranteed. You are going to have to make a long-term commitment to my guy.
I would do it for 4. If I'm Skip right now in the USFL, Dunaway,
I would take the Power 5 job, even though it's at Northwestern.
I would want a guarantee, though.
Matt Rule showed me that you can go into a nasty situation and do a great job and lead to bigger and better things.
Yeah, and Baylor and Northwestern have something in common. I mean, they are a private school, and
that makes it a little bit more difficult. However, at Baylor, you're at least recruiting in the state of Texas. I mean, recruiting to this place is going to be so difficult.
And Baylor's had success in the past. I mean, look, I know there's been some good years under Pat Fitzgerald, and there was that one under Gary Barnett, but that's a tough job.
It is a really difficult
But
job.
I would take it if I'm Skip, just based on where he is right now.
If I'm a Northwestern grad, you start to wonder, because it's the academics is what you know Northwestern for, not athletics, right? Big journalism school, if I'm correct, among other things. You start to wonder, how does this all start impacting the image of my school? And even if is all this even worth it? Because really our education, our academics is what has built Northwestern into what it is, not the athletics. You always wonder, the athletics is supposed to be like the front porch into what we are. You just wonder if we'd be better off without athletics if you're a Northwestern.
Yeah, I wonder, if you're like a Tommy Rees. A lot of people have mentioned him. Now, he has yet to call a play at Alabama.
Right.
But if I'm Tommy Rees's agent, I advise him, I'm like, let's have 2 good years in Tuscaloosa and see what kind of jobs we get, right?
One good year in Tuscaloosa.
I mean, you could do it on one good year. Yeah, absolutely you could.
Yeah. If it's good enough, there'll be a better job than Northwestern.
Yeah, Tommy Rees, totally different situation, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the offensive
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, in comparison to Skip Holtz, I'm just saying his name got mentioned a lot.
That's right.
But if I'm his
I just
agent.
wonder how deep this Northwestern thing's going to go, because now with this allegation out there, I would assume the volleyball coach is the next to go.
Yeah, it's apparently widespread over a variety of different sports. That's the latest lawsuit to drop today involving Northwestern. This hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. I was in Alabaster yesterday hanging out with Mom and Dad, picked Mom up, took her down to the Collectivist Church in Calera where my daughter was singing. Just a great morning there. Gave a little honk to Sterling. He was getting out of his car when I rode by Champy's. Because of our plans yesterday, I didn't have time to swing by there. Every time I'm in Alabaster, I stop by and get that great Southern fried chicken and the sides. But I gave him a honk yesterday to encourage him at work. I hope it worked, Sterling. He's open now for lunch, later tonight dinner, easy to go as well, those Mississippi Delta tamales. And I saw a couple of new people who watch and listen to our show swing by and try Champy's out this weekend. Thanks for supporting Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Bo Nix is starting his final year of college athletics. He's out in Oregon.
That seems like a long career, doesn't it?
It is. I mean, two long playing times now at 2 different schools, at Auburn and in Oregon. Pac-12 Media Days was back on Friday, and Bo Nix gets asked this question about him, the leader, what he learned at Auburn and what he's doing at Oregon.
Bo, I'm curious how leadership has changed for you from when you were a true freshman and kind of going in as straight out of high school and trying to lead a college program to now where in your 5th year you have that much experience under your belt. How has that evolved for you over the years?
Well, I think the most important thing is understanding how each individual, is capable of being led. My first year, even first 2 years, I played with a lot of older guys, and they were mostly the leaders. So I did a lot of the following and just led when somebody needed to lead. But now, as long as I've been in college, as long as I've played, the guys kind of, they look to me for certain things, and I have that pressure to be the leader, and sometimes I don't do a great job, and sometimes I have to, tell them I apologize, I'll do it better next time, but I try to meet them where they are and go exactly where they need to be, and help them with whatever they're going through, because probably I've been through it, the same thing.
What do you think of Bo Nix this year? Your expectations?
My expectations are he'll have a really good year. I think he's one of the most fascinating players in America to watch because, number one, if he plays well, his team can compete for a conference championship and make it to the college football playoff. I don't think there's any doubt. I also think personally for him, he could play his way into the first round of the NFL draft. And I never really viewed Bo that way until he went to Oregon. I mean, it's no shot, but I just don't think Malzahn quarterbacks are ever going to fare that well in an NFL draft, and then it's just a misfit with him and Harsin.
Bo Nix was mishandled. I don't think there's any doubt about it. His freshman year was his best year at Auburn. I don't think you really can argue any differently there. And then the last year we saw at Oregon, by far his most productive year. But I agree with Brown. I mean, I think based on what he showed in Eugene, this is a guy that could be a first-round talent. And I never thought I would say that, but, the knocks were he turns the ball over too much.
Yep.
In that system, only 7 picks last year. And he is not an accurate quarterback. He was sub 60% on his career going into last year. and he completed 72% of his throws. So Bo Nix looked like a night and day quarterback. And if you're an Auburn fan, you got to be disappointed because you had that talent right there on campus.
What is concerning for Bo again is that it's a new offensive coordinator because Kenny Dillingham is gone. I mean, how many different play callers has Bo had in his life?
So in 5 years, I mean, this is fact. This will be his 5th OC.
It sounds like Jason Campbell. We used to always say this about Jason Campbell.
And his 5th quarterbacks coach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's never had the same. And look, I mean, last year.
Well, he had Kenny Dillingham twice, though, right?
Yeah, but I guess he hasn't had back-to-back.
I know what you're saying, back-to-back. I mean, he had Kenny Dillingham, lost Kenny Dillingham, got him back, has lost him again. I mean, that shows you how long Bo's played. He's played for the same coordinator at 2 different schools and seen him leave both schools.
You guys are acting with his age over there. He said what's Bo, 31? Chris says at least 45, right?
He's in the pension.
Is he closer to Dan Lanning's age or the recruit that's coming on campus?
I mean, it's.
I mean, what is Lanning, 33?
Yeah, I think Bo has the best shot of paying off, the best shot he's ever had right now, of paying off one of your long time. I don't think it's a stake bet. I think it's just a long time prediction that has long since been ruled a landmine by you that could get out of landmine territory. I think Bo Nix has a legitimate path to New York. Again, I don't think he'll win the Heisman, but I think he could be sitting on that stage.
There was a
year.
good chance they get there last year if they just take care of business in that final 3 minutes against Washington. That probably gives them the momentum to beat Oregon State.
If he's healthy, they win that game.
I agree. And clock mismanagement at the end, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
43 total touchdowns last year for Bo Nix. In his 3 years at Auburn, what do you think he had total touchdown-wise?
He had how many last year, 43?
Yeah.
Combined in 3 years, I'd say
51.
30 a year, 90.
39 and 18. I mean, slightly more at Auburn, 53.
53, I added a 51, yeah.
That's 1 year compared to 3.
I know, that's what's crazy about it, yeah.
It is crazy.
And the wins are probably close to the same, too.
Okay, tell us about Johnston RV, and then I've got a maybe a 12 o'clock final hours suggestion we do.
All right, Johnston RV wants to make you a sweet southern summer for you with a new or used RV right there from Johnston RV Center. They got travel trailers that start at just $139 a month. That, my friends, is less than $5 per day. They've got 2023 fifth wheels from just $439 a month. They've got military discounts for all you active and retired military, whether you're active duty or retired. Great discounts for you there. And a lifetime warranty on all new campers and used campers under 2 years old or newer at Johnston RV Center. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman. I-65 exit 334 in Decatur. And always online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Okay, and tell me if you guys are into this. We can throw a nice Coke or Diet Coke on it, or we can throw a steak on it. We can, throw a dollar figure on it, whatever you want to. At the 12 o'clock hour, do you guys want a snake draft? The Heisman Trophy? Not just winner. We'll go, just 5 if you finish first. Your guy finishes first in the Heisman. 3 if they finish second. 2 if they finish third. 1 if they finish fourth. And we'll draft 4 guys.
I'm willing to do that.
And we'll do a snake draft.
Sure.
And this will be Heisman voting at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And they put out all the votes,
They do.
right?
They rank it by total points.
So we'll be able to go. I mean, I put a little gap between 1 and 2, 5 for a winner, 3 for second, 2 for third, 1 for fourth.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we'll draft 4 guys. We'll come up with a draft order, and we'll snake it back and forth for 4 picks.
I'm good with that.
Because I want to see, off of what you said about Bo, I want to see where Bo shakes out.
I said there's a path there. I mean, certainly I wouldn't have him as my first pick, but I do think there's a path.
Well, obviously have 12 picks.
Yeah,
Do you think
so
he gets picked?
I think Bo will get picked in 12 picks.
Okay,
I mean, if he's around for number 12, I'll pick him.
You think
I'll tell you that.
You think he gets picked in 12 picks?
I do not think he will get picked.
By one of us.
But I don't know. He already said he would.
Well, I mean, he's a
and
quarterback.
You want it to happen, so that's going to weigh on you a little bit.
He's a quarterback, which gives you an advantage already.
That's right.
Okay, being a quarterback puts you above players that are better than you
Like
already.
10 of our 12
one.
picks should be quarterbacks.
And he's a quarterback that did not win it last year. That's what hurts Caleb Williams. I don't even know that I would pick Caleb Williams. I like Caleb,
So
but
if
he
you
won
get
it last
first
year.
overall, you wouldn't go Caleb?
I would not. No. How many guys won it back-to-back? Never happened.
Archie Griffin.
Well, it's happened one time.
One time.
I mean, again, this
Not in
might
y'all's lifetime.
This
Okay,
might
yeah, I
this
mean,
might
I
be the
wasn't
year
alive.
where Georgia does what Minnesota did almost 100 years ago,
Yeah.
and
It doesn't happen. It's
But
number
he's-
one, you have to be better than you were last year. Then number 2, you got to be better than everybody else. And then number 3, you got to fight through people that just don't think it should happen and vote another way. I mean, it's just almost impossible.
But he's not even one of the 3 best quarterbacks in his own conference.
Who's not?
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Well, neither was.
He's not going in, but at the end of the year,
he could be.
I mean, neither was old boy from TCU. And didn't I see him in New York?
Max Duggan, yeah.
He got there.
There you go.
All right, we'll do that coming up at 12 o'clock, final hour. Here in this segment, though, still a lot to do, including 4 Downs, brought to you every day by the great folks at Slice. 4 great locations that you can get by for lunch or dinner. I always love to go get a slice and a wedge salad, which is terrific there.
Yes, great place. The original location in Lakeview, one of Vestavia, one of Montevallo, now Crestline Park. Again, local pizza, local ingredients. I didn't realize this, but it's not DoorDash. It's some kind of Google something that delivers slice. Anyway, I got that Friday night. Had them delivered to the house.
Yeah.
Got the hot mama.
Google something here with your pizza.
I think DoorDash probably does it too. They just go by and
Maybe it was DoorDash. I don't know. Anyway, got it delivered. But I recommend dropping into one of those 4 great locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
More wins this year, Penn State or the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I think it's a bounce back year for Pittsburgh, but not that big of a bounce back. I could see him. I mean, Mike Tomlin's always going to win 8 or 9.
Never had a losing record.
Never had one. That's amazing in the NFL. But that division done away, you feel like Baltimore's a 10-plus win team, right?
Cincinnati's
you feel like Cincinnati is.
Cleveland's got a lot of talent.
Cleveland
could be the best division in all of football.
It's such a tough division. Somebody's got to be below 10 wins.
I'd go 8 or 9 for Pittsburgh and 10 for Penn State.
But the best division, at least 1 through 3 in college football, has at least been over the last decade.
Yeah,
I
think I'll
Big
take
Ten East.
I think I'll take Penn State.
Second down.
You keep throwing out liners there, fine print to get to that. And you kept thinking, well, Alabama and Georgia, you were going to say best top 3 in the conference, and then you remembered that 3 different SEC teams had won.
I was going to say division. That's why, look, both divisions are so tough here. I'm going to lean Penn State, though, with 10 wins.
Yeah, I'm going to go Penn State with 10 as well.
Second down.
More rushing yards this year, Alabama as a team or Penn State as a team? And just for a little context, last year Alabama did 195 per game on the ground. Penn State was at 181.
And I think Alabama's going to be more committed to it this year. I think they're going to be better up front. I think their offensive coordinator is going to be a little more committed to the run game. I am going to take Alabama here.
I, too, am going to take Alabama, even though that offensive line allowed 167 tackles for loss last year in Tuscaloosa. 167 tackles for loss. I'm going to take Alabama over Penn State, only by the fact that my perception was that Penn State outrushed Alabama last year. In reality, you just told me Alabama outrushed them.
But, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, 1 year in, I think more experience. I think it's going to be really, really tight. I'm going to lean Penn State.
Penn State. I'm going to go Alabama here.
Third down.
Karl Malone, 60 years old.
The old mailman?
Yeah, the old mailman.
Barry Bonds, 59. If I asked
the old juicer.
Better career. I will go first here. I think it's Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
But
the mailman was at least, he was playing 100% legit.
Neither one ever won a championship. And I don't know. I guarantee you PED-wise.
You think it was pretty even?
I don't know.
Well, but one sport it wasn't tested for illegal, right? And one it was.
To me, the best offensive player I've ever seen is Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, really good pre-growth and after-growth. 2 different players. Stole bases, hit for average. Didn't have a strong arm in the outfield, but had a good glove.
You didn't have a strong arm. You couldn't throw out Sid Bream at home. Yeah. I mean, Sid was running in mud.
Then he became an unbelievable power hitter. To hell with the juicing. I don't care. I'll go Bonds.
I think I will, too. For some reason, I really never liked the Stockton-Malone Jazz teams. I never liked those.
Could not stand them.
Well, you were a Lakers fan. It makes sense for you, but Dunaway, why did we dislike them so much?
I don't know. Could not stand them.
I never liked them, not one bit.
I don't know if it was the arena.
I don't know what it was.
Didn't they change up the uniforms? Did they have mountains on their uniforms?
Yeah, they made them real colorful and all.
Yeah.
And, Jerry Sloan, I think, was a nice guy, but I didn't like him as the coach. I never liked anything about that team.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I didn't like the broadcast crew that was on TNT late night that were doing the Jazz games.
Yeah. I never liked the Stockton Malone Jazz teams. Can't explain it.
Me either.
4th down.
Believe it or not, J-Lo is 54 today.
I'll still keeping it together for you.
If I asked you better career, Jennifer Lopez or Charles Barkley?
Charles Barkley, easy. He's a top 50 and now a top 75 all time. What is J-Lo?
I think this is J-Lo easy.
I think it is J-Lo easy. I think you are blinded by her love for Charles.
I'm
Don't know
not.
J-Lo.
I mean, tell me what Jennifer Lopez is known for.
First of all, she's still getting gigs at what age?
At 54.
As a female. That is hard to do.
Barkley doesn't have a job. You're right.
Yeah, but he's a broadcaster.
You're not talking. Yeah, but guys don't get treated the same way as female actresses.
I know, but we're comparing the two here, though. So
well,
I mean,
right? That's what I'm saying. She's
Barkley's
exceeded.
got a job.
Okay, but it's not a level playing field, and she has overcome the level playing field.
Oh, okay.
The
So you saw
unlevel playing
Barbie
field.
this weekend? Is that what you're telling me? It's not a level
It is not, Jim. You cannot argue this, even though you want to be right here. You can't argue that.
Empowerment.
Jim, tell me with a straight face.
No,
female actresses don't disappear in their mid-30s.
Absolutely.
And not only that, she
disappear.
performs on stage.
Yep.
She's a good actress too. I mean, she's at least had when she gets a good part. Out of sight, she was really good as Karen Cisco.
Is she top one of the best in her field at anything? She does a lot of things good. You're telling me she's a Swiss Army knife. She bends in a lot of directions and very good.
I don't know that to be factual. I would say she's a top 5 dancer of all time.
Of the world, she's the top 5 dancer of all time.
Absolutely. You name 5 you'd put in front of her.
Paul Abdul.
Okay, Paul Abdul. There's one.
I don't
I'll
know
give
if
you Paula.
Abdul is.
Yeah. Well, she was a Laker girl.
I know. Well, so was J-Lo. Or J-Lo was his fly girl.
She was a fly girl.
The old dude who invented ballet from Russia.
Okay, that old dude from Russia too.
I want to say Gorbachev, but I think that's wrong.
Go Belichnikov. Or something like that, yes.
Over in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat, Brandon says, I go Barkley, what's their net worth? She's got him smoked on net worth.
Net worth is
Would
not
not be
the
anywhere
answer.
close,
It's not
no.
the answer to this.
Oh, well, Daniel
That's
goes
gotta factor in.
Daniel goes size of butt, and I don't know who wins that one either.
Well, now
between her and
because
Charles,
Barkley has lost so much weight.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. Zach says 3 white guys arguing who's behind the 8 ball more, women or a minority man. America, right here. That is our 4 downs today, brought to you by friends at Slice.
Oh my gosh, look at that. J-Lo, $400 million, Barkley, $60 million.
Yeah, you know what J-Lo has never done? Bought a round of drinks and food for this table right here.
That is true.
That'll suck that 400 millions down.
Yeah, and that'll never happen.
If J-Lo ever met this guy right here and this trio right here, would be sucking that 400 out like lipo.
Local pizza, local ingredients. Get in, try that hot mama that I had this past weekend, the wing and a prayer, the soul pie, fantastic pizza. The late Jeff Pajaya created the concept. His brothers continue the legacy, Jason and Chris. Get in, see them. One of those 4 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
All right, when we come back, we will get to the trash today and what I think is a pretty interesting thing that's happening up in Washington with the Commanders. 1 point on that's up next right here on TNR.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Summer is here, school is out, and that means moving season. If you need help buying a home or selling your home, you need Holly Mack Wilson. Let Holly Mack Wilson do for you what she did for 70 people last year. Find you the home of your dreams. She is a professional who helps you with every step of the buying and selling process. Holly Mack Wilson will help you find a home, negotiate the best price, and help you get your home ready to sell. She helps you get the most out of the house you are selling and helps you get into the home of your dreams at the best possible price. Holly Mack Wilson can help you find a home anywhere in Alabama, from Huntsville to Mobile. So call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446, or check her out online at hollymackhomes.com. Then sit back and enjoy your summer. Who knows? She may even help you plan your summer vacation. That's Holly Mack Wilson at 205-901-9446 or hollymackhomes.com. Holly Mack Wilson, your trusted and professional travel planner and Keller Williams agent.
It's the spring sales event at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Now you can get $10,000 off plus rates as low as 4.7% on new 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios and new 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulias. Come see the team at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, exit 27 just off I-459 on Grants Mill Road, or visit them online at alfaromeo.usa.birmingham.com. Hurry down before they're all gone. All incentives applied, in stock units only with approved credit. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com.
Are you faced with unexpected medical expenses? You want to update your backyard? Or you just want that dream vacation? Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Legacy Credit Union can help with lifestyle loans. Legacy Lifestyle loans do not require collateral, and they have affordable low rates. See more about Legacy Lifestyle loans online at legacycreditunion.com, or simply stop by one of the 9 branches in the greater Birmingham area. Legacy, the official credit union of UAB.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Tough Dog Garage Floors is a leading provider of high-quality garage floor coatings. Jared and his team specialize in the installation of polyasperatic flake garage floors. This is good for residential and commercial clients. Garage floors, concrete flooring, basement coatings, flake flooring, patio coatings, driveway coatings, pool deck coatings, and more. From get-togethers to oil changes, your garage experience will change forever. TUFF, Tough Dog, GarageFloors.com, or call 205-273-8813.
Josh Harris officially owns the Commanders now, and Magic Johnson saying the same. He's a minority owner, part owner of the Commanders now, and
he owns everything.
He is saying something that a lot of people are wondering. He thinks they will at some point at least consider changing the name. That there's very little tied history to the Commanders, and it would be a fresh start to forget Daniel Snyder altogether. Are you hoping they change the name one more time? And does it even get better if they change the name?
Yeah, I don't really care if they change it or not, but I kind of got used to them just being the Washington football team. I don't know why you need a mascot, especially if it's a bad one.
I don't really care. I think they should have stayed the Redskins, but what am I? I'm a white guy behind the mic.
But the Washington football team thing just it was different, kind of grew on me. I mean, I would have stayed there if I'm them.
So Magic says they will at least at some point have the discussion that he's heard talk of that already as they take things into consideration. Ben over in the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room, go back to the Washington football team. He agrees with you, Brown. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at Wayne's, celebrating 50 years. 50-year anniversary of Wayne's all throughout 2023, and for that they want to offer you $50 in savings on all their platforms when you use our promo code TNR. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a new customer or an existing customer, this promo code works for you. Promo code TNR, so why not save the money if you're already a Wayne's customer? If not, go ahead and switch over to Wayne's. TNR is the promo code. The website is callwaynes.com, callwaynes.com, or 866-WAYNES-1, 866-WAYNES-1. $50 off your pest control, your termite protection, your lawn care, and mosquito services, including new and existing customers. Promo code TNR, callwaynes.com, or 866-WAYNES-1. The FIBA folks, the federation that oversees international basketball play in our country, they had their under 19 World Cup going on for the women, and look at the court they were playing on. Check this out. This is not a CG generated. This is a LED glass floor.
Bet that was cheap.
Look at that. So this, much like the globe in Las Vegas, the dome in Las Vegas, the basketball floor is LED screens, and these are now.
I wonder how the traction and the footing is on that.
Well, they've worked hard, and they've got it to where it is the same playing surface as the others. I just seems like it would be a huge distraction.
No doubt.
As I'm playing the game.
And if I'm a ref, I don't know what's inbounds or out of bounds. Seems like it's tough to make a call. They don't have a good defined sideline there.
Too much or not too much? LT? Brandon, you first.
I'd say a little over the top, a little too much.
Yeah, I think too much. I mean, if you want to use it for an all-star game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we already have so many graphics on our screen. I guess this takes away from the need of graphics. They just put the graphics on the floor for you inside the stadium to see what you would see on TV, though.
Could sell a shit ton of advertising.
Well, they have. I don't know if you've noticed, but I mean, just dribbling down the court, I see like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I've seen that, which I assume were CG generated during the introductions at the Final Four and some, big sporting events recently. That seems to be a tad too much. That's actually a screen. That's not just.
I'd like to know the price tag.
You can see that as well. Well, I think it's $147. TV prices have dropped.
They have. Could Lance mount that in his basement?
Let's do trash. Hit the big button there, Tyler. Let's get to that. It's this time every day. Hit it, man.
Vision Cable. Hi, watch me beat Peter McNeely on Vision Cable Vision.
Great.
Okay, now Comcast Cable. Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Watch me beat Peter McNeely on Comcast Cablevision.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, let the experts at Mortgage Right help get your financial house in order. Their team of experts can make sure you're prepared for anything 2023 may bring, including freeing up cash for the things you need to get done. With locations at Birmingham and Leeds, Mortgage Right offers a variety of loan products, fast and free pre-approvals, and reliable hands assistance that will help you take advantage of all available home buying and refinance options. With Mortgage Right, no middleman. You can put your trust that your files will never leave their office. Take control today. Visit Mortgage Right, locations Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply mortgageright.com/TNR or call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. We start first in Louisville, Kentucky.
Hello, Louisville.
A man uncovered buried treasure on his farm. Last month, a man found more than 700 rare gold coins from the Civil War era in a field that's not being identified. Now, the man found U.S. gold dollars, gold Liberty coins, and a $2.50 coin with the Statue of Liberty's face on it. There are also $10 and $20 coins. All 700 coins worth around $2 million.
I figured they'd be pretty expensive, not just in the value of the gold, but collector's items.
Yeah, Civil War era, man.
Now, the collection, which is being called the Great Kentucky Hoard, comprises coins that date between...
I'd change the name.
I would too.
1840 and 1863.
Wow.
Now, they're now for sale. The man wants to remain anonymous. I don't blame him. The coins are now for sale at govmint.com.
Do you think he is currently digging up every inch of his property just to see?
I mean,
you never know,
I'd have that metal detector out.
At that point, could you sell your property?
Sight unseen.
Sight unseen.
It could be $10 million here. It could be nothing here.
Yeah.
You never know.
There could be 60 more of these bags out there, for all we know. We don't know. We don't know how many more bags are
Yeah,
out
but
there.
would this be a good ploy? Like if he had a backer to go buy these coins, act like he found them on his property, and then flip the property to somebody?
Look at Lance. Look at Lance finding the angle right there.
Just saying.
It is an interesting plan.
Yeah. I
dug these up on my property.
I think I would sit on the coins for a little bit longer if I was him.
Greg from Pell City, I just Googled Great Kentucky Hoard, and I'm embarrassed.
Spell it right.
Yeah.
Don't count on the autocorrect there.
Yeah.
You might end up on a random website.
Weird story here.
Hey, whoa. Zach makes a great point. These are Civil War era, but one's got the Statue of Liberty on it.
Yeah.
That doesn't time out right, does it?
It doesn't mean that it was the Southern. It was U.S. coins, right? When did we get the Statue of Liberty? I thought it was pre-Civil War.
Well, again, these are 1840 to 1863, so it is before the Statue of Liberty. But did we have any relation with Lady Liberty? Was that like a...
Yeah, was that a drawing or anything before they actually built it, or that guy just built it out of his own mind in Paris?
By the way, I heard Oppenheimer has got, true historians are really pissed at Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And you know why?
The frontal nudity?
No. Lunsford, have you heard this?
I mean, I'm sure there's something inaccurate about it. What is
Yeah,
it?
so-
About the stars on the flag?
Yeah, the stars on the flag.
What, they got it wrong?
Very end, after the bombing takes place, I guess it's Oppenheimer directing like a news conference, and the flag behind him's got 50 stars, but it was before Hawaii and Alaska were actually introduced.
You got to have a continuity director to catch that, don't you? The idea for the statue was born in 1865. So I'm going to say here, I'm with Zach, I'm going to say we've just caught them in their lie right here.
I did too, because this is 1840 to 1863.
That's right. So anytime, you know this, Dunaway.
Okay, but the idea, I mean, I'm just asking, like, his idea to build a statue start then, or was there a drawing of a lady that was known as the Liberty Drawing?
I'm just from Wikipedia here. We trust Wikipedia implicitly on this show. According to the National Park Service, the idea of a monument presented by the French people first proposed mid-1865. I mean, I don't want to read this whole thing, but I think we've caught them in a lie here. Actually, I'm not going to read the whole thing. We've caught them in a lie. I'm just going to say it. You know, this is what happens when you lie, and you know this, Dunaway. You're good at it.
Jody is going down my road. It has nothing to do with the Statue of Liberty. It's Lady Liberty.
Oh.
So Google,
that's what I thought, too.
Google Lady Liberty and see what pops up.
But before I do this, do you know, you're aware of this, Dunaway, sometimes when people lie, they tend to include too many details, right?
That's right. You actually, one sign you're lying is you give too much information.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the way it lists on the story. He found U.S. gold dollars, gold Liberty coins.
Should have stopped right there.
Should have stopped there, because then it was only a singular, too.
Yeah.
One $2.50 coin with the Statue of Liberty's face on it.
Lady Liberty personification. Okay, here we go. It's a lie.
I've got it as designed after the Roman goddess Libertas, along with a mixture of Augusta Charlotte Bertholdi.
Okay, need a year.
1865, like Brown said, it's a conversation with the sculptor and somebody else.
Yeah, but it's after Libertas.
So, our next story, AI. We've been talking a lot about AI. This is kind of crazy. A former senior executive at Google predicted that sex robots powered by artificial intelligence could eliminate the need for a human partner in the bedroom. Now, Mo
40 years too late for me.
Who is the chief business officer for Google's research and development arm X, said the AI user will usher in a, quote, redesign of love and relationships, end quote, that people won't be able to tell the difference between real-life sexual encounters and those that are created artificially.
So this is her?
The difference?
Yeah, I would say people that maybe have never had sex.
Wait a minute. How do I tell the difference here, Tyler?
Well, I mean, can you tell the difference between that and a real person?
Well, I can tell she's not real, yes.
Yeah, that's a little freaky. Now, they're saying that human beings will soon be able to simulate sex through virtual reality and augmented reality headsets, such as Apple's Vision Pro or Quest 3. Wadat told YouTube host Tom Ballou of the Impact Theory podcast. Now, the headsets combined with AI-powered bots will trick people into thinking the sex robot is real. They go on to say, if you can convince you that this sex robot is alive, or the sex experience in a virtual reality headset or an augmented reality headset is alive, it's real, then there you go.
By the way, back to the Liberty coin. It's not designed after the Statue of Liberty. That's what it looks like. It's just a person who is designed as Lady Liberty.
Yeah, but it said there was Liberty coins, but there's also a Statue of Liberty's face on it, is what it says.
That's how you get caught in lies.
By the way,
too many details.
So look, if you're having sex with an AI bot on a virtual reality headset, are you cheating?
I don't think you're cheating, but if you don't watch your screen time, you'll go blind.
I just wonder, some chick walks in on her husband.
I would qualify that as cheating. I think when the chick walks in on her husband, she's going to think it's cheating. And weird.
Okay.
But it'll be like Birdcage. He won't know she's there because he can't see anymore.
Isn't this like the 1970s edition of Playboy magazine?
That's it, yeah.
So do you think women thought that the husband was
it's
cheating?
a little bit different.
I don't know. I think it's weird. I agree with you. Do you think there'll be a big market for it?
I don't think there will. I'm not going to invest. Go ahead.
For that reason, I am out.
Man in Virginia had a not-so-average trip to Waffle House recently. Went there to grab a bite to eat. Went inside. There was no one to be found. He takes pictures here. William Davis woke up hungry, drove from Brookneal to the Waffle House in Lynchburg around 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
Hey, anybody here?
He said that everything seemed normal except there was no one there.
Welcome to Waffle House?
He said there was dishes out on the table, signs that people had been there, like hot water running, but not a single worker. Now, this was sent to Waffle House on Wednesday to try to find out what happened. The manager didn't want to go on camera, but said two people who were working that morning, to his understanding, that they had not left the restaurant. He says it seems like they maybe were out in their cars. He added this is a coaching moment for his employees, and he called it inexcusable. I want to say before AI, they were probably in the car banging.
I've watched
or smoking weed, one of the two.
I've watched it enough at Waffle House. I could make my own meal there. You think I could?
Yeah. Just a flat grill, right?
Yeah, it's a flat black top and a waffle maker, waffle iron.
But it depends on what you're making.
My meal. I'm going to make a waffle, blueberry waffle, and I am going to make my hash browns the way I want them. I've seen it done enough times I could walk in a Waffle House and do it.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that difficult.
Cover cap, chunked and country. It's just right there. Now, the country's the tricky part because sometimes when you ask for the country, they have to go find the gravy.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to know where the blueberries are either.
Oh, they're in the fridge. I see them. They have to get them out and throw them in there.
Oh, I thought it was already pre-mixed with the blueberries.
Depends on. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It just depends.
No, nobody goes to Waffle House and gets blueberry waffles.
I do.
Yeah,
So
nobody normal.
The sighting of great white sharks off the coast of San Diego prompted the local fire rescue department to issue urgent warnings to locals and tourists considering visiting a famous regional nude beach.
Is there a regional nude beach? Where?
Apparently, right outside of San Diego. Now, 3 juvenile great whites were spotted Friday about 100 yards away from the shore at Black's Beach, popular destination known for its impressive surf and nude visitors. Now, the sharks were 6, 8, and 9 feet in length. They were feeding off a carcass of a sea lion. I think the most interesting thing about this is that San Diego has a nude beach.
You should never swim naked if you have a chance to be possibly confused with bait in big fishing areas.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, the swimsuit's probably not going to save you, but it's going to be a bad way to go.
Bad pub here for Burger King. South Carolina Burger King employee arrested after police said she served customer fries that had been thrown in a trash can.
That's okay.
Incident happened July 9th.
Oh, you want these biggie size? Hold on a second.
Gotta add a few.
Gotta get these 4 back out.
According to police, they were called to reports of a disturbance at the restaurant, found 2 women arguing with staff members, making threats. 2 women who weren't identified were arrested on charges. Disorderly conduct on July 11th. Police got a complaint claiming the restaurant manager had given customers fries that had been thrown in the garbage. Now, the restaurant's assistant manager, 39-year-old Jamie Major, was accused of taking stale fries from the trash, adding them to the container where freshly cooked fries were, and dumped them, putting fresh fries on top. So that means everybody's food was tampered with.
Yep. That was a major violation. That was her name.
By the way, the charges carry a sentence of up to 20 years in prison.
I mean, we got to start cracking down on some of these things, or our food industry, is going to go to hell.
Yeah, I would agree. You want to think about it twice, don't you, before they do it again?
But would you rather get the fries out of the dumpster, eat that, or the dude that licked the ice cream?
I'd rather the fries out of the garbage can.
Yeah.
But you're right. Ben says throw them back into the deep fryer and everything gets killed off, and you've crunched them up for me.
That's one thing I assume, like getting fast food. If you get deep fried stuff, there's a good chance it's okay. Most of it has been fried long enough to kill it.
The only problem is I've seen them drop it on the floor and pick it back up.
I know.
But they throw it in the skillet a little bit more for me.
That's right. I'm okay.
Just singe those hairs off.
Just
That's trash. That's trash brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, are you a veteran looking for a VA loan? Mortgage Right has been advocating for veterans since their company began. As a veteran-owned, operated company committed to your well-being, they can help you find the best terms available, guide you through every step of the process. Visit their locations, Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply. MortgageRight.com/TNR or call 205-815-9200. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
When we come back, I'm going to show you a picture, and then I want you to tell me the first name or two that popped to your mind when I show you the picture.
All right.
That's when we come back here in the next round, being brought to you in part by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Highway 119 in Alabaster, open for lunch, later for dinner, champy'schicken.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Don't miss your chance to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Open 24/7, so come on in for non-stop gaming action. You'll find the latest, hottest, most exciting games around. And you'll love the fun bonuses and big jackpots. Plus, you can watch and wager on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. Your best bet for big wins is just minutes away at Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where you can be a winner too. Birmingham Racecourse Casino off I-459, exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons. Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
When the weather gets warm in the Deep South, there's nothing better than spending your days outside. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. When you're outside, there are a couple of things you want to be certain about. Number 1, your yard looks the best it can. And number 2, you're not always swatting away those mosquitoes. My friends at Wayne's take care of both those things for me. And Wayne's is celebrating their 50th year. So right now, get $50 off your pest, your termite, your lawn, and your mosquito services. Visit callwaynes.com or call 866-WAYNES-1.
You hear a lot of interesting phrases while playing golf, like, I think you're on the beach, or the classic, you gotta hit it, Alice. One word you're sure to hear right now at Bentbrook Golf Club is wow. Brand new carts with complimentary GPS, and the bent grass greens are so consistent, you just might drain a few more putts, Alice. Tee it up and find out for yourself. Book around today at bentbrook.com or call 428-1999. It's better at Bentbrook.
Back with you on the next round as we approach the top of the hour. Forrester, will you and Lunsford, when he gets back, come up with a draft order for us three? Some way for us to decide whether put a number on a piece of paper or something. We're going to draft our Heisman finalists.
I'll draft third. I'm fine drafting third.
Yeah, I am too.
Third's a good place to be because it's total points.
I'll draft first.
Nobody wants to go 2, I think.
I'll take second.
I'll take second too. Yeah,
I mean, we're drafting Heisman winner. I mean, this is about the most unpredictable thing in sports.
Okay, Forrester, don't worry about it, man. Part of the show today being brought to you by our friends at Bromberg's.
Yeah, Bromberg's wants to remind you 2 great locations. They are your diamond specialist. If you're in the market, about to pop the question, make sure you get in. Again, 2 great locations, one right there in Mountain Brook. You've also got the Summit location. Since 1836, Bromberg's has established that solid reputation as a fine purveyor of quality diamonds as well as jewelry, timepieces, and gifts. Drop into the 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit, or view their online store today. Go to brombergs.com.
Pritch Law, it's being changed right now. Thanks for the comment over the Vulcan Tire and Automotive chat room. Smuff says, well, now I'm hungry now that we've talking about fast food and all the fried food and Waffle House and all that. Happens to us every day about this time. So it's I get a little hungry about this time every day. We had some good food up in Nashville. Looking forward to our trip to Ocean City, Maryland, coming up in August. That's our next big trip, right?
Yeah, it's so this is weird. When I was talking to Red, and by the way, Forster's got the pictures of Red. When I was talking
to Red, the dog?
No, Red's owner.
Okay.
And I told her
you left off the owner part.
I felt the same. I was like, wow, he started talking to the dog.
So I can just see that dog getting back to the kennel, going, dude, some guy's talking to me like he's expecting me to reply, and he's my new owner. I don't know if I should get on that plane or not.
Well, when I was talking to her.
Oh, look, there's Red.
That's Red.
That's a Vizsla?
Yeah. That doesn't look like Ladybird to you.
Oh, you didn't just say that.
What?
I mean, has Red got to live with that his whole life?
Well,
it looks like Ladybird?
There's one part of Red that doesn't look like Ladybird.
I'm trying to make it make sense to you.
Yeah.
So that doesn't look like a Vizsla to you?
Well, in this picture over here to the far left, not as much as Ladybird did.
Yeah, the far left
This
looks
dog
a-
is older than my Ladybird when I was
just a year older.
If you'd shown me the far left, I don't know that I would have gone Vizsla, but I don't know what Vizslas look like really. I think I would have gone.
Anyway, when I was talking to her and I told her, look, we've got a trip coming up and I hate to move Red in and then leave him for 4 or 5 days. So we came up with, I'm going to be able to pick Red up after Ocean City. But she was like, where are you going? I said, Ocean City, Maryland. She was like, that's where I'm from.
Shut up.
How weird is that?
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
She give us some good eating places?
She said, you guys are going to love it. She was like, there's so much to do, so much fun. She said the boardwalk is really unique, whatever that means.
You know, we have a mutual friend whose wife is from New Jersey. All of us know him. And I was talking to him the other day about something. And because his wife's from Jersey, they started going to the Jersey Shore for vacation. And he's like, we're Southern folk going to the Jersey Shore. He's like, but man, we have fallen in love with it. And I never would have guessed the Jersey Shore would be that appealing, but he was telling me some of the stuff about it. He's like, man, we love it every year now.
Brian says, of course, you went male dog, so the nips were not looking weird.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not something that I got to worry about now.
That's right.
That's right.
Goose says, looks like a little lab mix in there at all.
To the left, I mean.
Yeah, I saw some lab. That's probably would have been my guess is a, what's the color lab? Not chocolate lab. Yeah, I'd go chocolate lab on the left.
I mean, the head looks a little different to me, LT. So are we, I mean, I love Red already. Like, it's my own dog. But are we sure that Red is 100% Vizsla?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a Vizsla rescue. They told me it was 100%.
Like is Stephen Pearl gonna let you in on all the Vizsla meetings?
I think okay, so I'll show you another picture.
Do you really care though? I mean, if you love Red, what's it matter if it's 100%?
Well, I mean, I don't know Red yet.
Well, I think you will love Red. You're going to go to Fort Lauderdale to get Red, or Fort Myers,
Yeah,
or
I'm
Fort
going
whatever.
to.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt that's a Vizsla, that one picture on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Now she did say,
I have zeroed
just
out it's
recently.
I have zeroed out it's a male.
Red has started to really get scared during thunderstorms.
Oh no!
And so scared that he ripped his way out of his own crate.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, "Is that ever happened before?" And she was like, "Just this year." And I wonder if this is kind of a setup.
Just this year, really nothing to worry about.
I told Doug this story. I told you the story.
Never killed a family with a gun in its sleep.
Just this year, yeah. I mean, that car just started making that sound. I really don't know.
Yeah. No, nothing to worry about for you, sir.
Yeah. I think it's a beautiful dog. I mean, it's your dog. You get to make the decision, but I'm going to love Red whether it's 100% or not.
Well,
that's right.
Something could change because I did tell the owner, look, if things change, they've got a neighbor situation with your neighbor. If an act of God strikes, then I want you to keep Red first. Selfishly, I'd like to have Red, but if Red can stay in your house, that's the best option for Red.
All right. Over, Forrester, give me the picture, the uniform, the not Indianapolis Colt one, the other one. The Titans announced their throwback and showed the Oiler uniform that they will wear this year.
So awesome.
Well, that was a good uniform.
So when you see that old Houston Oiler uniform,